All right. It's my 6th interview in 2 days, so I'm burnt out, but I'm here with a fucking legend, Ken O'Keefe. So thank God I have someone I want to talk to. Otherwise, I'm out of here. I'm burnt out, but you need no introduction. Absolute legend. You're a guy I look up to, respect. You've dedicated your whole life to truth, and that takes a lot of sacrifice.
Honestly, I'm a blessed man, and all praise to God, and I give all credit to my mother. She just gave me a lot of love, and, where a lot of people feel, I don't know, they feel overwhelmed with everything that's happening and whatnot, and the strength that I have and the ability I have to keep focused and have a centered position, it's really a blessing. But thank you, because my respect for you is absolute as well. I mean, what you've done in the ring is something else, but what you've done out of the ring is truly admirable. When a lot of people would have seen, you're not a stupid guy. When you started speaking about this stuff, this real-time genocide, there was a consequence, and I'm sure you felt it immediately.
They came after me hard. Yeah. Thankfully, I have loyal friends around me, so they weren't able to do too much damage to me, but they tried to destroy my life. They tried to cut off all my income. They have cut off some of it, but not all of it, But now people are coming back working with me. You're so honorable. I don't want to get into the specifics of it, but I just had a big money opportunity for you, but you felt like the ethics of it didn't match yours, and you just turned it down. That's how honorable you are. It's like, and that's hard when you're a person that needs money and stuff, and that just shows true ethics.
I have to say, yeah. I mean, I certainly have no regrets about it, but the opportunities that are lost when you take the path of righteousness, it's undeniable. And I just know too many characters. I've met too many. Never mind the Palestinians. I mean, look what the Palestinians go through just for trying to defend their family and tell the truth about what's happened. Look what's happened to all the journalists. Look at them. They're all been slaughtered.
They killed them all.
Not even just the journalists. Like, the whole families are slaughtered as a result of this.
You know something? I have a friend, guy Brandon, who's actually in bad health right now, a YouTuber. I'm thinking maybe he's poisoned. He went there in Lebanon and did a documentary. When he came back, they killed the guy that showed him around his entire family.
Yes.
Children, parents, and now he's in the hospital right now. Brandon, he's a huge YouTuber, like over 1 million subscribers. I'm wondering if they poisoned him, but they go and kill the people's family that showed him around.
Well, you know what? Actually, on that note, I had a beautiful young lady who was my translator in Gaza, and I won't even mention her name, although she is out of Gaza now. Beautiful, beautiful young Palestinian. Her name was Noor, and I remember very well. She was like a little sister to me, but it didn't stop my enemies from making accusations in Gaza that she had inappropriate relations with me. There was no truth to this.
That's very serious in a country like that.
Yeah, this is dangerous, like extremely dangerous. And I remember I was back in England, but I missed the birth of my second child because I was in Gaza. I nearly missed the birth of my first child because I was in Gaza. And this young lady was like my bridge to be able to really connect with the Palestinians, which gets back to what you're saying. Just for them even to speak to me and present their stories puts them in danger, and this was never lost on me.
I didn't know this till my friend told me that. That just put shockwaves through me, because I was thinking about going over there and doing some reporting. I'm like, wow, I could be responsible for getting their families killed.
Yeah, and
it shook this guy, because he's a good-hearted person.
Yes, and that was part of the reason why, like, hearkening back to what you were saying about the opportunity that's tempting, but I just can't square it with my morality. I never did any of that reporting. That was proper, like, even the Great March of Return, there were dozens of people shot on a day that I was there. I was the only foreigner there and the only, like, non-Muslim there, and they were killing people all around me, and I was literally standing there and just like, you bastards, you cowards. And here I am surrounded by all these Palestinians. They're not armed at all. They're non-violently protesting.
Peaceful, right? That was when they were trying to they were attempting to do a non-violent instead of violent, and that's what happened. People say, "Why don't
the
they
ambulances
try this?"
were just back and forth,
I hear they were trying to shoot some men in their dicks. Is that true?
They literally will shoot you in the groin. They have footballers that they shoot in the feet, like multiple bullet ends their careers completely. Like, imagine if you got shot in the knee or what? It'd be over.
Especially in my prime. It's just like.
Nor this girl, she literally, the accusations that we had inappropriate relations were such, she never called me except this one time. She had my number and she called from Gaza, and this is 15 years ago, And it's a big deal. It was like expensive to call from Gaza to England.
They didn't have much money, I'm sure.
And she was crying. She was literally crying and apologizing and saying that she couldn't have any more contact with me because this accusation was putting her life in serious danger. And I remember it so vividly, and just telling her, don't worry about it. God bless you. I totally understand, and you'll always be a sister to me, and da 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 da. But this is the kind of thing that normal people wouldn't understand.
No, I just think the Americans are so naive, and they don't understand the brutality these people are facing. And it's like they're sacrificing for us. When people shit on the Palestinians, it pisses me off because they're like sacrificing so America could wake up and see what they want. They want to do the exact same thing to us they're doing to them. They don't think any better of us.
Yeah. Gaza is coming to you. I've been saying that for a long time. Even the Charlie Kirk thing, that right there, that brazen assassination right there in front of all of us, this is normal. In Gaza, this is normal.
Do you believe that it was Israel that did Charlie Kirk?
It's 100% a Mossad operation. 100%.
Yeah, they do assassinations all over the world. This is 100% confirmed. People can look up Wikipedia, Israel assassinations, and see they take out people all over the world.
And I mean, you would have thought they would. I guess they have no respect at all for the American public. I guess they reckon on the willful ignorance of the American people, because this very story they presented of who this patsy is, and it's just an absolute insult. What they presented is what is responsible for this.
Yeah, I haven't followed that case that close, to be honest, but it was like some guy dating a tranny. Well, there was the Jewish guy that jumped up and said he did it. I know.
None of it
They
squares.
ran and they took the first thing they did when he was shot. Guys ran and they took all the film out. That was a huge red flag to me. Why did they run and grab the film first?
Charlie's right-hand man, who was there behind when he was shot, he was on the phone immediately. Like he'd even dial the number. Is Charlie shot, and before Charlie even falls, he's already turning around and walking away. Yeah. He's completely walking away. Meanwhile, Charlie's body, he couldn't have possibly known if he was dead completely at this point.
Yeah, right.
And he's on the phone with somebody, and he's walking away, and this is his right-hand man.
Like if you got shot, we don't know each other that well, but I would be jumping, checking, trying to see if you're okay. Yeah. That's what friends do. Like I feel like I know you probably a lot better than should, because it's like you're another fellow brother. But I couldn't imagine turning and just walking away if you got shot.
I couldn't live with myself either. If that happened to you, like fucking
I know,
like
100% you would be there. With 100% without a doubt, I know you'd be there, doing anything you could to try to protect me.
This is what normal men do, but unfortunately,
it's not what normal men do anymore. It's what they should do, but it's not the norm. We are not the norm anymore. And it pisses me the fuck off. There's too many cowards. I'm fucking sick of it.
Yeah, a healthy man, a proper man.
And thank you for years before I knew about this. Sacrificing yourself. I was so focused on fighting, which is probably a good thing overall, because now I've been able to get a bigger name, right, and hopefully make more of an impact. I didn't even know all this shit was happening.
I just think that's a really admirable job, and there's so much behind it too. I mean, we could talk about the UFC, who owns the UFC, and I mean, you guys are really being used. The fact that you don't have medical coverage is a standard part of what you do.
Yeah,
is absolutely nuts. The fact that they present as if you're independent contractors, and yet the contract does not allow you the freedom. I mean, we can look at Francis Ngannou, who Dana's just made some comments about, first off, I'm sorry, I'm not believing Dana on this. And there's a lot of things I like about Dana. I remember the old days.
Same. He has good things and bad things about him, but he has some very bad things about him.
Well, yes, and I don't believe what he's saying about Francis. I know that even if Francis did do that, I remember very well when he was trying to get out of the contract so he could actually make some real money elsewhere, which he finally did.
Where was Dana's security? He always has security too. I don't believe Francis grabbed him up like that either.
I don't know. I mean, you've met Dana. You would know Dana. I only have an outside perspective, but obviously Francis is a beast, and you wouldn't want to upset that guy.
I've trained with him some, bro. He's like 285 pounds. He hits so hard. And one day we're doing jiu-jitsu, and I was doing well, so then he started throwing punches. I'm like, oh shit, that changed it up. That changed it up quite a bit. Okay, I pissed off Francis. Oh shit!
Of all people,
it wasn't real bad. We were like, it didn't turn too hostile, but it was like, okay, I got.
I would run like a little bitch if that guy was coming after me.
Yeah, like thankfully it didn't turn on to a full-on fight, but for a second it got like heated for a minute. And I'm like, oh shit, dude, am I gonna have to fight Francis? Because there's a thing in the gym where I can't run from anyone. I gotta fucking someone disrespects me. You saw yesterday, stupid thing, but some young fighter I almost had to check.
Yeah,
He disrespected like my guest, but that's kind of a disrespect to me. But it was a little. I didn't quite see exactly what happened.
yeah. I was behind. I was behind you, man. Right. So, in all fairness, like what was happening was there was training going on, and
It was a complex situation, but no one should disrespect my guest at a gym.
he went further than he needed to go.
Yeah, I agree, but we were like in a rush and decided to let it go. But
Yeah. But getting back to Francis, I remember very well when Francis was trying to negotiate a deal that he could be happy with. Obviously, one of the things was that, what did the Conor privilege, right? Conor got to go make big bucks with Floyd Mayweather, but Francis was not allowed. But Francis was negotiating for better contracts for the fighters and healthcare and stuff like this,
he was trying to get us paid.
That's on record. So, am I going to believe Dana, who says that this man is a beast and he's a horrible guy? I'm sorry, I don't believe it.
There was just a large lawsuit won by UFC fighters against the UFC, which I didn't even know I was included in the lawsuit because I wasn't suing it, but apparently I was. So they just lost, I think, I don't know, like 500, 800 million, something like that dollars. They got to pay out to the fighters from a certain year period. So.
Have you ever said, obviously this is your own business, but have you ever said, like, what was the highest pay you got for a fight?
The highest pay when I fought GSP, but it was still under $1 million, and that was such a massive fight, and that was because Lorenzo gave me a bonus on top of it, and it was still slightly under $1 million.
Yeah.
But it would have been like way less, but Lorenzo knew that fight was so big. Lorenzo was the actual real owner of the UFC, not Dana White, and he went and gave me a good chunk extra. But
where was that fight again?
It was in Toronto.
It was in Canada
60,000 live fans. It was one of their highest gates, their highest. This was such a massive fight at the time. If it was boxing, I'd been paid like $50 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Or GSP would have been probably like $50 million. I'd have been like $30 million, $25 million. So to get under $1 million for that is like,
plus,
it's embarrassing,
when I'm looking at like training and whatnot, I mean, the cost to have a proper trainer.
I need to pay my coaches, my cost a lot of money to do a camp for GSP.
Yeah.
I had to hire people to come up and train with me, stay with me. Thankfully, I had a deal with like the Diaz brothers and Nate Diaz where we all helped train each other for free. Yeah. So I was fortunate to have that. But any other people would have to pay to come train me.
Yeah.
So like, a lot of people don't know, we all help coach each other. Me, the Diaz brothers, and Gil Melendez. I was Gil Melendez's head coach. I helped, Nick Diaz was Nate Diaz's head coach, but I was like his assistant coach. And me and Nate were kind of the two generals. Yeah. Or me and Nick were the two generals.
Did you ever have any of the team that Habib had over there in the California gym? You had
Khabib and Islam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've trained with them.
You trained with them too.
I used to spar Khabib a good amount. So you gain that respect. His English wasn't good at the time, but we had just some battles. Typically, someone at my level or his level were so good they have to change a new person out, every round. But when I would come in, Khabib would be like, you. 5 rounds today, and it was just me and him would be in the cage for 5 rounds, just going at it, and that just builds the respect for each other having a battle like that.
What's his striking coach again? I can't believe I'm forgetting.
Javier Mendez.
Yes. Did you ever work with him?
He never held pads for me, but I was friendly with him because I'd come into his gym and spar his guys sometimes.
Yeah.
But it was always kind of friendly but hostile. I'd come down there for war. It's like we're coming down here to battle.
Yeah.
So my Brotherhood was the Diaz brothers and Gil Melendez.
He's a damn good coach, though, isn't he?
Man, he's coached a lot of champions.
Yeah.
And now he's the head coach of a lot of those like Russian Dagestani guys that are like Islam. If you watch Islam, he's a phenom.
Yeah, I don't see anybody really beating him, to be honest. I mean, and what he did with Jack the other day, I mean, actually, I saw that, a lot of people were feeling kind of really sad for Jack. I mean, he really...
he just dominated him, I'm not like a big gambler, but I bet on that fight. Fighting's the only thing that I gamble on. But I know it. I understand it so well,
Yeah, yeah. It's a brutal game, and it's part of why I respect you and I respect all the fighters. It takes balls to get in there. It's kind of all or nothing, really.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. Like I just interviewed for you... Delta Force, which I guess is the elite above Navy SEALs and Green Beret, and it's like everyone respects a fighter, and it's true. I think that's helped me so much when I started a podcast. I had 0 subscribers to begin with, but everyone would say, yeah, because I'm a fighter. And despite I'm extremely controversial, but big guests will still come on because like they know me from fighting. So you kind of get away with it. And I think we broke the mold too. You were and still are so heavily censored.
Yeah.
So far, I've been able to kind of evade it. I think they're coming after me more now, but I've been trying to kind of evade the censorship.
It's an interesting game because, I'm getting up to like whatever 30K subscribers now on my YouTube channel. I had a bigger channel. It's got like 85K, but that was demonetized years and years ago. And I wasn't even looking at monetization.
Yeah.
I just want
to get the word out, yeah.
I just always presume. Yeah, exactly. It was.
I'm demonetizing YouTube, but I'm thankfully still have a channel. Hopefully don't take it down.
And it provides a lot of extra stress, and it's crazy. I can see the world that rewards virtue and integrity and humanity, but this world does not reward that. You get punished for that stuff.
No, it doesn't. Like I said, I just had you a money situation, which was a complex, and it wasn't even. It was a borderline thing. It wasn't something extremely bad, but it was still. You're just like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And you're a man that could use money. It's easy if you're rich, to fucking turn down money, but.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that won't. Those are the ones that'll squeeze every ounce, won't give everything back.
It really is. It's like that's kind of one of the blessings actually of being poor and being homeless and things like this is that, if I need to, I can live in the street again. Do I want to? No, that wouldn't be my choice. But if I need to, it's kind of like the Marines too when we were in the Saudi desert while the air war was happening. In 1991, we were just bombing the living crap out of all of the Iraqis. And by the time, about a month after they were doing that, we finally got called to go in. But we lived in holes in the ground. I was like digging alcoves in the sand in like the holes that we were living in and like trying to kid out my little, kid out my hole in the ground. And we didn't shower. We had no shower, so it's just whatever wet
you
cloth.
Can't do it. Yeah, you don't want to go back there, but you can. And same with me. I grew up in poverty. Like, I don't want to be there again, but I can.
Yeah.
Like, I have my word, friendships. I don't need these fucking people to tell me what I can and can't say.
When I lived in my van, actually, during COVID, I actually loved it. I loved it. I love the freedom of like, I'm driving and I can stop wherever I want. And if I like it, I meet some people, which I always meet people. I am the kind of guy where...
you're such a friendly, likable guy that...
I really am. I'm a nice guy. I just had somebody recognize me, and he was like, oh, Ken O'Keefe, and introduced me to his wife and got a selfie and all this kind of stuff. I am a nice guy. My mama taught me that. So
treat people with respect if they treat me with respect, especially if a van comes up, unless they're like rude.
Yeah.
All the time people DM me, I saw you. We didn't want to come bother you. I'm like, bro, come say hi,
Yeah.
Just come say hi, introduce yourself. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Being in the van was beautiful, and I could compare all the states and the different attitudes and all of that. And I just love the idea that, and plus I have to give that bit of credit to America. Like you could, at least at that time, you could park in a Walmart parking lot and you wouldn't.
That's right. You're letting people sleep in the Walmart parking lots.
They wouldn't hassle that. And I have to say that meant a lot to me. And then the rest stops everywhere but Florida. In Florida, they've got these signs like CCTV and like don't leave stuff everywhere except Florida. The rest stops are actually quite beautiful.
Really?
Really beautiful. And it's like families and even barbecues and people stopping.
It's like safe because there's lots of people and stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Fight Back Podcast. If you like the show, like, subscribe, or share the video. There's also donation links in the descriptions. For me, COVID, I just retired from fighting, and I mentally have to be active. Like, we're not the same. They're telling me I have to sit in my apartment and not leave my house and not work. I had no job. Like, I'd blow my brains out or get addicted to drugs or something. So I had to... So I got in a car to start driving around the country too.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Going to national parks. But then they closed down the national parks. That's when I really got radicalized.
Yeah. 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 I mean, when I was, like, I started off, I had a Toyota, 6-cylinder Toyota minivan. And when I first got it, I got a good deal. I love Toyotas. This is my favorite vehicles. So reliable. And, it had a little bed and a little storage. But little by little, I was going to the back of Home Depots and hardware stores, picking up scraps of wood, and then little by little, I was picking up some tools. And I'm a bit of a carpenter anyway, so I like kitted this thing out. By the time I got to Florida, and I had just done some of my finest work on that thing. I was using resin. I was pouring resin and doing custom wood cuts and making alcoves and shelves. And I had my laptop. I had inverters. I had a nice stereo system
Sounds
in
awesome.
there. I could totally blacked it out. I insulated it, so if it was super cold outside, I could keep it warm. Or if it was hot outside, it would keep me cool. And I made it to Florida, and I did like my finest work. And the night that I was leaving where I was, and I was driving away, and I was heading, I think, towards Alabama or something. I got pulled over, and I never actually got to sleep in my van after I'd done the final work on it.
No.
Like, and I was just like so excited. I could close it up, and like literally the front was all closed off, no light. You couldn't tell
That's
if anybody
awesome.
was in there. And I had the juice from the batteries. I had like 3 batteries, inverters. I loved it, actually. I really enjoyed it. And I was really quite bitter and angry, boy. And that was dangerous in Florida, man, because I was so pissed off. And now I have no freaking home. And I've lost.
they
And
took
even
the
stuff my
van?
mom, like my glass.
What do they do with the?
They literally auctioned. I did everything I could to fight for it.
God.
I notarized
so
letters
wrong.
to DeSantis and everything to like.
It's so wrong. Everything you had, you put in all that work, and that's why they radicalize people against the government, just to do that to you. It's like all you had, and it meant everything to you.
And my enemies, the trolls, we all know who it is. They literally were saying that I was a crystal meth addict, and there's a Marine. I'm not going to mention his name. He even says this stuff, and they were making it out like I was a drug addict. And that's why. So I'm not only have I lost my home and all my private property, but I'm getting hit by my enemies with these lies about me, and it's just whatever, man.
Tough time, but you're resilient and you bounce back.
You know what, man? At the end of the day, thank God, for the one and only, the Creator, and just a knowing and an understanding that whatever trials and tribulations we go through, I actually think that that's a reflection of how much God loves you. Because if you've got a really smooth path and it's just all a garden, roses everywhere, you're not going to be the most amazing kind of guy. Look at all the great
Look at all
people.
the great men. They've all dealt with
been
hardship.
through hell.
No, I'm thinking of all my friends that are really confident and I trust. They've been through some real hardship in their life.
Really, honestly. And how you deal with that and what you look like on the back end. Do you become bitter? Do you become a victim? Or do you become a better person? Do you become more empathetic to others who go through similar things? Or do you become angry and reactionary?
I think a little empathy and stuff's good too. Like even a strange case, Nima, a Jewish guy who obviously I'm friends with his cousin, so we've been kind of rivals / friends the last couple of years. We've had some arguments, phone call arguments. Strongly disagree with his views on Israel. But he has just been getting trashed by the Jewish community because he brought up the issue of the racism in Israel, that they treat the darker ones a lot worse than the white ones. And he's just been basically...
Which is true, 100%.
The way they treated him, man, it was just so brutal I saw. So I called him just to check out how he's doing. And he was just like so thankful and appreciative. He's like, it's the anti-Semite's the guy reaching out to me just like, I have humanity, bro. It's like we strongly disagree in Israel. But then he's starting to be like, man, I was wrong. I talked to him yesterday, and he's like, I was wrong. I'm embarrassed that I put Israel before America. I'm so embarrassed and ashamed of what I did. I was trying to be accepted by these people who hate me. And so I don't know. Sometimes we need to reach across. It's easy for us all to get radicalized, and sometimes we need to step back and be like, let's try to have some communications. And I don't know, is he being genuine? I can't say for sure, but it felt like it.
Well, you know what? This is another issue. When you really do develop empathy, which again, I'd argue that in order to have a real highly developed empathy, you have to have been through some hardcore stuff yourself.
No, it's true.
But if you do develop this, I can do this little exercise with you right now, and I know where you're going to go with it. Same place I do. If I was born and raised in Ireland, in Israel, and I had that upbringing,
the heavy indoctrination,
this indoctrination, the reinforcement of the supremacist ideology, all of the the parroting of demeaning and demoralizing and devaluing and making subhuman the Palestinians and all these other people. If I was born in that environment and I was surrounded by that mentality and it was bred into me from day one, would I be the person I am today, or would I be that asshole that I despise and I see right now?
You can't really say. You might have snapped out of it, but a lot of these people don't.
I'd like to think
and
so.
There are some Jews snapping out of it, but the indoctrination's so heavy. And that's what, people are saying I shouldn't talk to Nima, but he's even like, man, hopefully I can pull more Jews out of the cult now. And he has a long ways to go, of course, still. This is just happening, but he's just like, he realized he was in a cult, and maybe he's like, I could maybe help wake up other Jews.
You know what's funny?
It's going to turn bad for them if not. People are not happy with Jews in America right now.
You know what's really funny, Jake? I think we've managed in the first part of this interview to talk in a way that is not going to get censored by YouTube. Now, I'm not sure.
They'll probably still take you off, bro. If they don't like you, Ken.
No, but in all fairness, what we're saying right now is very human and it's very understanding, and we're not sitting here bashing on those that invariably, as this interview.
They should not take it off, but they shouldn't have taken our last interview off. We weren't hateful on there.
No, we weren't. And I've always
people
stood
love
for
that interview. It's clipped constantly. I still see it clipped. People love that first interview I had with you.
If you look at my interviews over these decades, I can say 100%, and I challenge anybody in the audience to find any exception to this. I have always stood for lawful, peaceful remedy. I have stood on my oath.
That's what we prefer, but people need to wake the fuck up. That's what it kind of hit this Nima guy. He's like, bro, I have children and shit. Like, people are starting to fucking hate Jews. This is not going to be good. I all of a sudden, after how I got treated, I understand now. Like, I apologize for calling you an anti-Semite. Like, I see, like, holy shit, bro. This is not going to end good if these guys don't snap. These Mark Levines, Ben Shapiros, they can't be leading our movement.
You know what? This reminds me, I did have a mentor who is the ultimate defender of the marine environment. His name is Captain Paul Watson. And he's one of the original founders of Greenpeace, when Greenpeace was a direct action confrontation organization, like real activism.
They actually went and did shit, yeah.
That's like the kind of activism.
That's kind of movement that I like to be in. I like to get shit done.
That is what I've been by my very nature from the beginning. And
it's our personalities. We take challenges head on.
Take it on, yeah. If nobody's doing something, do something about it then. Anyway, Captain Paul Watson was on the original boats, actually, very famously. It was Paul and some others that had the idea with the whalers. They were pursuing the whalers and trying to stop the illegal whaling. So the plan was to buy a boat, a former fishing boat, that would be able to navigate the high seas in areas where the whaling ships are at, the Russians and the Japanese and so on. And the plan was to get in a Zodiac, and the harpoon is on the bow of the ship. So to get the Zodiac between the whale and the harpooner, and to force a situation where, like, are you really going to shoot? To shoot through humans to get the whale?
If it was Israel, they would, but most other countries wouldn't.
It was a ballsy move, and it also commands attention. So you videotape this kind of stuff, and so anyway, Paul was involved in that. But then Greenpeace went down what he called the Avon ladies of the environmental movement. It was they turn into whatever,
kind of like PETA and stuff. For me, I'm a big animal lover, just kind of like.
Yeah.
If you talk about that, Adolf Hitler was a massive animal lover, and he was a vegetarian. Yeah. He had the most extensive animal rights in the country at the time.
Yeah. But Paul, when Greenpeace went softly, Paul was like, that's not what I wanted. And so he formed the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society. And I've crewed with Paul a couple of times. And I didn't even get accepted the first time, but by this time they accepted me, I'd rescued dozens of turtles. I was doing ghost net recoveries and all this, my former life in Hawaii as a dive instructor and a boat captain. So when I did crew with Paul, immediately he knew, like, I'm the guy that you want to send into the dangerous situations and the reconnaissance and things like this. And that's exactly the kind of work I did. But my point is that Paul very famously talks about how Greenpeace gets petitions signed and all this kind of stuff, and he says, what do I care if a million people in England are signing a petition against whaling? They're not going to whale anyway. But if I can get a whaler to, and he did, because very famously a whaler said, when we first had Paul Watson and the Sea Shepherds coming, I hated these guys and really just wanted to kill them. But when I saw how much these people were willing to risk, to put their life on the line, he said, if Paul wanted to accept me as crew, I would happily crew with Paul.
Yeah.
So the point is what you're talking about, right? You're talking about somebody who
Do
is
action,
a rabid.
but then we also can talk sometimes. Yeah, no, I like to go out and fight and get in the trenches, but I'm also willing to step back and talk sometimes. We have to do both.
If you can bring somebody over from that side to genuinely adopt a position of humanity,
I get attacked for trying to do these things constantly, but I don't care. You know, I don't follow the masses. I'm always being attacked for my views because I think independently, not always, but often I'll jump ship from what my followers want me to because I think for myself.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let my followers tell me who I can talk to, what I should think, who I should like. Like, you know, I have a lot of a lot of my followers don't like Muslims. It's like, okay, I get along good with Muslims. I don't want to bring a bunch of Muslims to my country, but I'm not gonna pretend like I hate them.
Yeah. Yes, and it's not like this whole false dichotomy, like right, left, liberal,
It's to keep us divided.
It's all fake. It's like, how about we just work on being good people, and how about we demand that we have actual candidates that give us actual options, where we have righteous people with integrity and a history of honest and consistent work. We don't. So we get pushed into, go with the lefties. They're going to be better. We go with the right. Neither one of them.
Do you want to get fucked in the ass by the Republicans or fucked in the ass by the Democrats?
It's literally what it is. The
both
choice.
Parties are just disgusting, and I hate them both.
Yes, I do too. And I'm not a proud person, but I'm very happy with the fact that I've not voted once in my entire life.
I voted a few times, but didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't say it. I'm just happy that I didn't because I
wish I hadn't.
What my position is that if you give me a real option, like, and to be honest, like two real options, like, okay, this person believes in, whatever, they believe in women's rights and abortion and so on and so forth. I don't agree with that and so on and so forth, but otherwise they're honorable people and they've been consistent with what they've said. They don't make false promises and then go back on all of that when they win. And, and then on the right side, you have people who are against abortion. And you give me two options.
But they have integrity. At least they have integrity, but none of these people do.
No.
Like, I'm not going to agree with anyone 100% on anything because I think independently, but we have no people with integrity other than Thomas Massey and maybe the girl,
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Who would have thought that, like, her, of all people, is standing up against Trump? And Trump's trying to disown her after she's fought for years. What a fucking disappointment Trump has been. God damn, what a fucking disappointment.
I understand why people bought into it, but I was saying things about Donald Trump a decade ago, and I've been dead right about all of it. But,
I fell for it embarrassingly.
But he looked like the best option. I can see why people fell into it.
We want some hope. We want someone to believe in. We, need it.
Yeah.
So I understand why these people can't give it up. It's because they need something. They can't give up hope. They don't want to admit that he's a complete fucking puppet. It's so hard to admit you've been fooled, but
he's literally taken America into one big, massive humiliation ritual. It's an embarrassment.
It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. Like, I could give so many examples, but like when Benjamin Netanyahu visited the White House, he handed him a golden pager. That is a death threat. We all know that. And then he goes and pulls his chair out for him. Like, it was just an humiliation ritual.
Well, I forget exactly what year it was. I think it might have been 2020 or maybe it was 2022 or 3 when because see, I was awarded the key to the city of Gaza. So this was kind of a little bit more like unique for me because that was the prime minister of Hamas, the verifiable, Jimmy Carter verified, legit prime minister of Palestine, who awarded me Palestinian citizenship, but he also awarded me the key to the city of Gaza. And then I saw Donald Trump giving the key to the White House to Netanyahu. Now, ask me, would I prefer to get Trump's key to the White House, or would I prefer to get the terrorist Ismail Haniyeh, who has since been martyred, and the key to the city of Gaza? I'm taking my key to the city of Gaza, 100%.
That's quite an honor.
Yeah, it is, really. I don't even know anybody else who got that.
That's a major honor. Yeah, he was a fucking hero. Sinwar, is that how you say his name?
Yaya Sinwar, yeah, I love him.
What a hero! They tried. Oh, look how he killed this coward, and he died his very last breath. His arm was blown off. He was fucked up, but he's still trying to fight a drone.
You know what's crazy is that I was in Gaza when he got released because he was like on a multiple life term, but it was when Hamas managed to get
swap, right?
Gilad Shalit, their one Gilad Shalit, and it was he was the bargaining chip. So this explains a lot for the people who don't know what's really happening here. There's thousands of Palestinian prisoners are in dungeons, torture
Hostages,
dungeons.
yeah, they torture,
They're
rape
being
them.
raped and tortured, and this is normal.
Sodomizing men, women, children. This is factual.
I
This
met
is
people in
evil,
Gaza, and
evil.
I met people in the West Bank and in Gaza, and especially in the West Bank. All of them, like the leaders that I met, we're talking about the resistance factions and some of the political leaders. I met Yasser Arafat a couple of times, useless photo op. But I met all these other guys.
Was he
Every
pretty
single one
useless?
of them had been tortured. And a
Yeah.
lot of them will have been raped too, but not many men
They
are going to
probably
want to
won't
talk
admit
about
that.
it.
Yeah,
You know?
no, I think they're not going to admit it, but I think they rape most of them, bro.
Yep.
But you're not going to admit that happens. I certainly wouldn't, but it's fucking evil, man.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, to say you wouldn't, a bunch of fucking Jews raped you, would you join fucking resistance movement? Fuck yes, I would.
And when I was in Gaza back in 2010 and 2011, that's when Yaya Sinwar was released on that transfer of prisoners, and he was on a multiple life sentence. And if you go further into his backstory, Yaya was just an amazing young man and ultimately a leader. But he got released, so he was in Gaza when I was there. I don't recall ever meeting him,
Yeah, it's
but I
possible
wish
you
to
did,
hell I
realizing
had.
it.
Oh, I was already.
They said he was a coward hiding in tunnels. He was out fighting the front lines. When he was in prison, there was Palestinians that would stitch and work with Israelis. He would chop their heads off and roll them down the fucking thing to the
No,
guards.
he was a badass, and like I said, I don't know. I wish I could say I remember meeting him, but he was out and he was in Gaza, and I was in those circles. But had I met him, I would love to have a picture with Yaya Sinwar, because as far as I'm concerned, that is the epitome of a man right there, big time.
Yeah, I put a shirt with him and like resist on it or something. I forgot to put it, and it was denied for hate speech on my store.
Oh,
Right,
we
so-
wish
so-
we had patriots like that in this
Yeah,
country.
right.
I tell you, you know.
Someone willing to fight to his last dying breath, for his country. You wouldn't see none of our presidents do that. Maybe Teddy Roosevelt maybe would have. He might have been the last president that would really
And you
fought
know-
and died for his people.
Here's another insight to what the Palestinians deal with, and I even know this because my family has been threatened, my kids and everything. It's a whole story.
I don't share this type of stuff, but yes, these things happen to me too.
They don't as we talked about it a little bit earlier off camera, I believe, but the journalists, like, they don't just kill all the journalists. They've literally killed all the journalists. Even Noor, who I talked about earlier, she went on to have a really big career, like with big like Al Jazeera and everything, and she carried on doing that work, and I helped elevate her, but she elevated my work too. But they don't just kill you as a journalist; they'll kill your whole family.
And as a man, that's what I don't fear death, but killing my family, it's like.
And this is how, see, what they have over there is something that Americans wish they had. Imagine, like, how many husbands and wives are fighting and divorcing or just like going at each other all the time. Imagine you have a husband or a wife who is a journalist, and you know damn well that the whole family could be bombed as a result of what your spouse is doing, and yet you love your spouse and you stick with your spouse, and your kids know this and they have to deal with that.
Honorable people. They did this in Iran recently, right? Where they sent them the message that got leaked to the reporter that, oh, we're going to kill your families if you don't. I forget exactly what it was. It was like some of the scientists, like, they give locations, they're about to go bomb all their kids and families if they didn't betray their country. Yeah. And the message leaked to the media. They're just such sick fucking people.
It's the Synagogue of Satan, and Jesus warned us about it 2,000 years ago.
You're like someone's fucking family, man. It just pisses me off.
You've lost all humanity if you do that kind of thing. I mean, I'm the kind of guy too. I mean, you're a fighter, so I mean, obviously your job is to keep fighting until the ref stops it, or you've knocked your guy out, or you've submitted him. But in the case of the Palestinians, what they're dealing with is so evil that they won't just beat you up. They will torture you. They will rape you. They will kill your whole family in front of you. They will strip you. They will drag you through the streets. They will put you through all sorts of demonic things. It's never enough for them. Like for them, that's like orgasmic. It's what they enjoy.
Beyond comprehension.
You've lost your humanity. You really have. God bless the Palestinians on this note. I mean, God bless them. I'm so blessed to be a Palestinian, naturalized Palestinian.
The key to Gaza, though, it's such an honor because they're fighting for the whole world.
They really are on the front line.
People don't understand, like, when people, sometimes talk to white nationalists, some guys shitting Palestinians, like, bro, these people are fighting for the entire world to wake us up to see what could happen to us. This is what they want to do to us. And it's like, we better fucking pay attention. They want to come and kill our kids and fucking bomb our hospitals and rape us.
Well, that's where I think the Charlie Kirk thing becomes relevant because, as I've been saying, Gaza is coming to you. That was something that is very shocking and traumatic for a lot of people. That's just normal, everyday stuff for the Palestinians.
Oh, yeah.
Every day they deal with that kind of stuff.
Just
So
constantly.
Gaza is truly coming to us now.
And you see kids being killed, kids with their arms blown off. And then you've probably been to Israeli Telegram channels where they're like laughing at it, being like, "Oh, look, little kid can't hug her terrorist father." It just disgusts me. That's why I tried not to hold hatred in my heart, but it can be hard, That's why sometimes okay, I need to sit back and talk to a Jew and try to see if they have humanity. But some of these people don't have any humanity. Some of these people are beyond lost causes. Some of them are just pure evil and need to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And the Jews that aren't, they need to speak out against these people. They need to be like, I can't be defending this fucking evil.
Well, that brings up another interesting issue because the first order of business for me was that I felt my big responsibility was not to point a finger at any other nation. It was to speak honestly about my nation and what my nation is doing because I'm an American-born son and that's my duty and that's my responsibility. That doesn't mean that I give a pass to the others.
Yeah.
But
we have to look at our responsibility too.
That's my responsibility. Now, the Jews have the same thing, whether you live in America, whether you live in Europe, whether you live in Israel. You have been burdened with this responsibility, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And by the way, when the lynch mobs come for the Jews, they're not gonna make any distinction between the so-called good ones and the other ones. So in a way, I have actually been the best friend to the Jews because I am trying to sound the alarm for you. Because we outnumber you, us Goyim, and you better hope we never come together on this subject because you have no chance at all once that happens.
The guy Nima talked last night, he had that moment of realization. He's like, we fucked up. He's like, and if we're not careful, people are going to come for us.
No, and this, this has happened.
Yeah,
1,000 plus times they've been booted out of territories.
It's not what I want to happen. I want a peaceful resolution, but
110 countries and over 1,000 times, and I believe. To be honest, I really see no hope for the vast majority of them. They really are in league with Satan.
Mark Levine and Ben Shapiro are going to change their
no, absolutely not.
Their stance.
And this time, I genuinely believe, based on empirical evidence, historical analysis, understanding of geopolitics, and also some prophecy and episcatology mixed in, this time is going to be the last time. This time, they're never going to be back in a position of power that they've managed today. Ever again. And it's what we've talked about as well is like once you learn certain things, you cannot unlearn it. People have already learned stuff about the Jewish state of Israel.
No one sees it and unsees it.
Yeah, the world can see what the Jewish state of Israel is all about and what it's doing. And now if you continue to parrot this whole Israel has a right to defend itself and you are a prostitute.
AIPACers, American citizens, blah, blah. And Mark Levine's like threatening people. You see the
I'd like to just slap these little.
I'd just slap the shit out of
little
him, bro.
bitch.
I would love to. You see, what is it? Seth Dillon, the Babylon Bee. They did like a joke with a pager and Megyn Kelly because she was just kind of want to disown. She wanted to disavow Tucker Carlson, and even she was like, "Wow," because she's obviously a death threat.
Yeah.
So now they switched her to the other side. They got these fuckers are threatening my life. And Seth Dillon had talked to Charlie Kirk right before he got shot, being like, Charlie, you need to change directions and be careful. Mm-hmm. So, like, these threats aren't a fucking joke. And Megyn Kelly, she saw that, and she was very clear to her they were giving her a death threat. But Trump just stayed silent, and MAGA stayed silent. I can't believe MAGA stayed silent as Israel threatened our fucking president. Right in front of everyone, hands on the pager.
When did he give him the pager?
Let me see. It was, let me look this up, because it's crazy that no one covered it. It's like I'm one of the only people that have talked about it. It just got like blown over like it was a.
I missed that too.
No, like no one talked about it. It was weird to me. That was such a big thing. It's like this is a clear death threat. I mean,
it really
how would you take it if Benjamin Netanyahu handed you a pager?
First off, if I met him, I'd slap that motherfucker, dude, and I'd be happy to die in the process. I don't give a shit. I would, if I was in the same room with him or Smotrich or any of these cunts.
He gifted him a pager, and look, he like framed it up. Fucking look at that shit. Isn't that insane?
What is this?
What's
the date on that?
It is says February 6, 2026.
26.
Or it must have been 25. Hold on.
Is it? It's 25
Yeah, it must be 25.
this year.
I've had a long. Yeah, it just happened.
Oh
February
my
25.
God.
Yeah, so it just happened. Look,
Oh
he
my
wrapped it
God.
up. Free with both hands, it says on there. Like, imagine if Benjamin Netanyahu handed you this. How would you take that? Would you take that as a death threat or as a gift?
I think if it was you, Jake, you'd have to get him in a rear naked choke and just not let go.
Beat the fuck out. He's a wanted war criminal. He's wanted for international war crimes.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? He's wanted. He's wanted for war crimes, and we go after these international bodies instead of him. Our country is occupied.
And here we are. Yeah, we're slaughtering innocent fishermen. I'll call them narco-terrorists. And we're inviting the worst genocide or
They can't fucking fish. They can't fish on their own water. It's like people, they kill, I don't know, man. I don't know how people can defend these people. It's just indefensible.
On the bright
Before
side.
you, I interviewed a military guy who like got along with everything, but he was supporting Israel. And it's just like, bro, how can you support Israel at this? I didn't go too extreme because I got his number. We're going to have some talks, bro. I think we're going to go to Dearborn together because he's anti-Islam and I'm more pro-Islam.
Right.
So we'll go there and give an honest assessment. And it's like, bro, because he didn't know some of the stuff I was telling him. Like, the USS Liberty bothered him. He made it that. But some of the other stuff I was telling him, like, it's like hopefully there's hope to wake this guy up.
Here's the thing, and I feel like I have to keep repeating this over and over, and in so many ways I am a broken record, but I think it's really critical that people understand if you're a Christian, like I'm a Christian, if I was like if I had a wife and I was cheating on my wife, that's not Christian behavior, okay?
No.
You know, I can call myself a Christian, but I'm not acting like a Christian. I'm not a real Christian. A real Christian would be faithful to his wife. He would be faithful to his children. He would be faithful to his community. He wouldn't lie. He wouldn't covet thy neighbor's property. All of these things would be Christian values. The same thing applies for a Muslim. So if you're a Muslim, you also, the same basic rules apply. If you're a Muslim who is grooming young children, that's not Islamic.
Yeah. Kill that fucking Muslim.
But the agenda will tell us that Muslims do this. Like, this is what they do.
Yeah.
No.
Hang those motherfuckers.
I call bullshit. You're a fake ass Muslim if you call yourself a Muslim and you are grooming children, teenage, whatever.
I want them hung. I want Christians that groom, kill children hung. It's not
You're a
complicated.
fake Christian. You're a fake Muslim. So I think this is a really important conversation that needs to be had. All of these people are being manipulated to think that Islam inherently involves the classic is that the Prophet had a wife who was not even in puberty yet. And the truth behind that, for those who want to look at it, is that, yes, they were put together in a marriage, but they did not fornicate until she became of age and so on and so forth. And you can say whatever you want about it, as if white culture hasn't had relationships that when puberty set in that you
That's
had.
how it's been through the most of humanity until the last, 100 years or so.
It has. So, this idea, there'll be tons of people in your audience right now who think that Muslims are somehow endorsing the idea that you can be with prepubescent or teenage girls.
Which is totally false.
It's not true at all. It's a lie. It's a misunderstanding, and it's all being engineered by who? That
Jews.
group. That group.
As many of you guys know, I run a free speech podcast. That comes as a price. It's being demonetized everywhere. So one way to support the podcast is to buy your books from AntelopeHillPublishing.com. Today's selection is The Trans-Industrial Complex. This book covers the money-making machine of the trans industries and shows it's not to help people, but to make money and get rich. So again, if you want to support the podcast, go to AntelopeHillPublishing.com and be sure to use promo code FIGHTBACK. That'll save you money and support me. Thank you. Hey guys, I'm demonetized everywhere. So if you want to support me and the podcast, go to fightbackpodcast.com and you can buy some cool merch like the shirt I'm wearing now. Like they just went to Dearborn, literally a Jewish guy is holding a cross yelling, Christ is king, Christ. It's like you're a fucking Jew. And this other guy who works for Netanyahu, all these people leading it, they've all just came from Israel. It's clearly a psyop. People are eating it up on Twitter. They're attacking me for being like, this is a Jewish psyop, guys.
Well, this is what the agenda is, and this is why people really need to be wary of it. And I have enough experience in the activist scene, which I largely despise. Like, as an example, here I am, like an original gangster, like anti-war guy who's put my life on the line time and time again. You know how many times I've been invited on the stage of the big protests in London for Palestine and all this?
Zero.
Zero.
Yes.
Zero.
You're such
so
a legend. But
apparently, I don't deserve that. So that being said, in the activist scene, what you'll have is agent provocateurs. They will come in, and they will basically set something alight. They will create an incident, like the Tommy Robinson crowd or this kind of stuff.
He's funded by Israel.
Yes.
They used to call it the something Jewish in English.
Not even his real name.
Yeah, it's like, you can literally look it up. I forget the name they used to call the organization. I think it was the English Jewish Organization or something.
Yeah, the EDL, English Defense
Then they
League.
change it off Jewish thing.
Yes.
So yeah, he's literally goes to Israel all the time. Isn't his name something Jewish too?
Yes, and so those are the agent provocateurs. So people who don't have experience in activism could fall prey to that. But I have seen, and there is a very developed understanding amongst those of us who've been involved in these type of direct action type things. Is like, you need to be wary of these people, and the moment that they reveal that, you don't wait for the cops to get involved. You deal with them direct. If you need to subdue them, subdue them. Do not allow them to stir the pot. Sort of like January 6th, right?
That was agent provocateurs, basically the feds.
And I'm not going to say his name, but there was somebody there that day who was saying stuff, who gets a lot of traction these days.
One of these guys was one of the guys that was out of this thing in Dearborn. I was just telling you about one of the guys that were letting go.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the guy. There's a different person talking. I realize who you're talking about. Yeah, so that's no relation to him. But there was one guy that was there who January 6th got let go, and now he's leading these protests. Who's a Jew yelling "Christ is King."
Yeah.
It's like, if people fall for it, they just jump right into the psyops. Like, you fucking boomers, you fell for this in Iraq War. Are you gonna fall for it again?
Yeah. So
of course there are bad Muslims, but as a whole, they're not worse people than other people have dealt with.
Yes, and they should be called out. But
Yeah.
don't you dare call that Islam. That is not Islamic behavior any more than a Christian doing the same thing is acting like a Christian.
Look at all the priests that were molesting kids.
Or just
they should have been hung too.
Or never mind Christianity or Islam,
Anyone.
just like a decent human being.
Anyone that hurts a child is absolutely despicable.
Really? Yeah, I mean, I
don't think we're in any disagreement what we should do to them. Probably can't say.
What I see in a beautiful young lady or even a young girl, obviously they're becoming young women. Yes, they are attractive. I see in that lovely young lady a mother. That's what I see.
Yes,
I see someone who should be a wife for a good man and be allowed to be taken care of by her man, to raise her children and to make beautiful babies and more good children. That's what I see. So someone has to be like really messed up in the head that all you see is some sex pot or some little toy for you to play with or dominate. Or, I'm not going to say names, but another famous person who got a lot of traction for speaking about the Matrix and all this kind of stuff, talking about grooming 15, 16-year-old girls and getting them to fall in love with you so that you could use them for stuff that is not moral at all. This is crazy behavior.
Yeah, no,
what the hell kind of society is allowing this kind of shit? And why would you reward?
Disrespecting women, to me, is just one of those things. I think they divide the sex war, and they have the feminism, then they have the men that hate women. They're pushing this divide. They want
These are our two options,
want us divided.
right?
It's like, I love women because, of course there's bad women out there, but as a whole, most women are good people. They just need a man to lead them. It's like the man's job is to lead the woman. So if you're not leading her properly, she's not going to respect you.
Talk about sacrifices. This is one of the things that I've done over the years, man. Honestly, first off, I don't really have time for a woman. I've got too much shit to do. But aside from that, I don't want to bring a poor lady into my life because she may think I'm a dreamboat or something. Trust me, sweetheart, I'm your worst fucking nightmare. Whatever benefit you might get from me, there'll be so much shit that you didn't bargain for by being with me. So much of my life I've been single for many, many, many years now. And it's not that I don't value intimacy. I miss it just like any man would, but I still have focus on things that are more important than that.
Struggle because there's so much sacrificing that we're having to do, and it's like, I didn't want to fucking do this. I didn't wake up one day and be like, oh, I want to go to battle with the most powerful people. But I woke up and saw it, and I felt like I had a God-giving duty as a man to resist and fight back and speak my mind. It's like, how do more people not feel like they have this duty? So many people tell me, I wish I could speak up. I wish more people are now.
What do you mean? What do you mean wish?
You
Why?
wish, it's like, and you also like you're such an OG and legend. So I have so much respect for guys like you, but also you don't look at me like, oh, you're just new jumping in. You get guys like, they want to be like, oh, I'm cooler because I was there first. We actually want to fucking change. I don't care if you woke up yesterday. You're on my team.
Welcome to the party, man. Come on
There's so
in.
much ego. Have you noticed that too? Not a ton of people, but there's definitely people you notice, oh, they make it all about themselves, not the movement. Like, guys like me, you, Dan, Io, like Io's a black nationalist who we were with yesterday. I love the guy. He's like, I don't like white people very much, but I like you. He's just such a cool guy. And then I was kind of fight with a black guy yesterday is the funny part. And I was just like, oh, no.
No, Io's the kind of guy,
that,
like,
though.
if I was black, I'd be like him. Like
He's
really.
awesome, bro. I get along so good with a black nationalist. Isn't that funny? It's like, and he likes me. And I'm very pro-white, but I'm not anti any other race.
No.
You can be very pro your own race without being anti other races.
That's so funny. It makes me think of Adolf. Why? What do you mean, Karen?
Why
are you thinking about Adolf? Because I'm thinking about what the black athletes who went to the 1936 Olympics in Berlin, what they were told. They were told that the Germans were like the master race, white supremacists, the evil bastards, and they hate all you black folk, and they hate everybody who isn't them, and da-da-da-da-da. And then all the black athletes went over to Germany, and they got treated with more love and respect than they ever got back home. And Jesse Owens himself, was it 4 gold medals, 5, whatever.
He was the most famous of all the athletes, yeah.
He literally, Adolf, paid him respect, and the American press, who owns the press?
The Jews,
that group again.
Ding, 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 ding. That's what Ryan Dawson has a bell that he hits because he can't say Jew. So he goes, ding, ding, as a Jew.
They got more respect over there. And Jesse Owens died destitute, poor, and he died like, I'm going to say the word, this is the word, you got to bleep it out, but I'm a white myself, as an Irishman. That's what he was when he got back home. He was a subhuman who, while you're winning medals and making America look good, well, and doing our national anthem and all that kind of stuff, like great. But when you get back home, Blackie, you're nobody. You're nobody. Get back in the fucking cotton field,
I think it's very interesting because he's used. I remember being taught in high school. It's like, oh, he was a fuck you to Germany. He was a snub. But then you read his story. He says how he was best he was ever treated in Germany, the loudest applause. He loved and respected Hitler, and then he came home and was snubbed in America. Then they're like, oh, you're just a filthy.
Can you imagine how it must have felt, I can imagine Jesse, what he was thinking, like, maybe it's going to be different now, maybe it's going to be different. I think it's going to be different now, and I'm getting respect over here.
So
and then he came
love,
back home and he was just nothing but, let's be honest.
That's what he said. He had just so much like love and respect Germany, and then he comes back and just snubbed. And they tried to just rewrite this out of our history.
It's sad, man. It's sad, and that it's part of why, like Io, who we just talked about. But like, if I was black, like if I was Palestinian, same thing. Like born Palestinian, I know how I'd be, man. You couldn't pay me to be nonviolent. You could not.
I understand, why people resist. I understand why Io had resentment, but that he's also realized he has a book called Jews Are the Problem. He does not hold back. Like Dan was just hitting me up. He's like, "Oh, I love that guy," because he already loved you. He said, "But that guy sent over was cool as fuck." Because I told Dan, I'm like, "Hey, you should probably beat these guys," So he's like, he's busy as fuck right now. He's like, "All right, send him over." And he was just saying how cool. So I guess you guys got along really good last night.
Yeah. No, both times
Dan is just such a legend.
Both times I've hung out with Dan, I've had a really good time. I've enjoyed it. But yeah, Io, like, for those that don't know, like, and I kind of said this to you, but let me just say it proper, right? So I've been fighting this battle a long time, like I know who the problem is, I know it, but I certainly never thought to make a video like this guy made. And when I don't even remember.
Jews are the problem, I think it's the name of the video.
I don't even remember how I found out about this and the video or whatever, but like, I do remember the first time that I actually clicked the play button on Jews Are the Problem. And I'm watching it and I could feel it. It was like foreplay. Yeah, it was like foreplay, like, oh, wow. I'm getting excited here. Wait, I'm getting excited. And then he said the words, Jews are the problem. Oh my God, I'm like orgasm. Like this guy.
You know, it's a masterpiece.
Holy shit, I never said that.
Masterpiece he made.
And he's doing a second one. He's got a second one. He said it's better. He said it makes the first one look like child's play.
After this interview, let's rewatch that. No, because I forget who. Someone sent me that. It's like, hey, you should interview this guy. And he somehow got me his contact. God, who was that? He didn't have a big name.
It was me, wasn't it?
Maybe it was you. It probably was you. It probably was you.
It was. I swear
bet
it was.
No, because I couldn't think of who it was. I think it was you. Yeah. So I think it was you that gave me his contact. You're like, I interviewed you first. Yeah.
Actually, me and Nio were going back in the taxi last night, and like, what I love, it's the same thing with you. I respect warriors, man. I really do. I really enjoy their company. When I'm hanging out with you, you're not insecure. You know, you're not going to be threatened by me. You know, regardless of whatever.
I respect you so much, as I should. I'm not. But some of these young guys are threatened by you because you're like an OG. You're supposed to show respect to the generation before you. It's like, you put in so many years of work and dedication and sacrifice. I've only been on this for like 3 years. You know.
But you've been fine. You've been fine. Don't undercut yourself.
I've jumped full in the fight, but like still, you came long before me and sacrificed far more. So to not give you that respect would be
I'm just a crazy bastard.
And I appreciate the respect back from you. That means a lot to me, Ken. But you deserve more respect than me. It's just you're a fucking OG.
Oh, that's really kind of you. You know, and honestly, you know, it's just a blessing for me.
You made it possible for guys like me and Dan.
I did help pave the way. I mean, that's a fair enough statement.
And even like Nick, you paved the way for guys like that.
But you know what? On all that, it's not about me, man. I really just want a better world. I really do. For me, my biggest, like, I have many, many, many objectives within my bigger mission. But the big mission, the only one that would allow me to actually retire, like, because I pretty much have always accepted the fact that I'm just going to die. I'm never going to actually have a retirement. But if I was able to retire, it's going to be because we, not me, we did the job that we're capable of, and we have a world that we can feel good about handing to our children.
Exactly. We want to hand
and that's a big fucking mission, mate.
Do you have anywhere people can like donate you or buy stuff or anything to like... Because there might be people that want to support you because people appreciate what you've done.
You know, okay, so I'm on X, so people can subscribe to me there. That gives me a few bucks. Patreon, I have Patreon, so they can...
I know you don't like pushing it, but you really should. You're fighting the fight. At first, I resisted because people hit me up wanting to give money first. I'm like, no. And then finally, I'm like, okay, I'll put donation links. I don't push it, but I'm like, you know what? If people are asking to donate, I am sacrificing a lot.
Yeah, so I mean... Yeah, no, and actually that brings up sort of another subject. I did literally take a sort of a vow of poverty, and it's going back to Gaza, right?
Well, you should take donations if people want to give it to you.
No, absolutely. But when I was in Gaza, I had these people that were opening up and telling me their stories, and my heart was pure, man. But I watched a lot of people come and go in Palestine who would come in and they would film, and then they would make a documentary. And they would make some money off of that, and I always thought like, and I always felt like if I do that, I'm using these people, like I'm using them, I'm putting them in danger, and now I'm going to make some money off of it by being the good guy who told their story, and so that was a big part of the sort of vow of poverty. It's like, you know what, I'm not going to allow why I do what I do to be tainted. My money, but yes, I mean I have done this for decades now.
Like you don't need to be rich, but you need basic survival skills.
These clothes, like this is Massimo Dutti. Nice I bought this in a secondhand shop, right?
It's great on you.
I got this for maybe 20, 30 quid. This trousers I wear and this vest, all from secondhand shops. You know, I get compliments on the way I dress all the time, but. Do I have the money to go into Hugo Boss or fuck no, man. There's no way I could buy even a T-shirt from one of these places. I didn't do it for money, but at the same time, actually what I really want to do, and thank you, Jake, for saying that. I mean, There's Patreon, there's X, and people can become members on my YouTube channel. So those are a few ways that people can give. They can give me crypto. I have links on my X and all that. But what I really want to do, and I really feel like this is what's going to happen, I'm going to write my book. And as much as I can say, like, face to face, like I'm saying right now, when I write, I'm going to be able to go into so much more depth, and I have no doubt whatsoever I'm going to make a lot of money from my book, a lot. And I promise, I guarantee nobody will be disappointed by what I have to write. I will make you cry. I will make you shout for joy. I will make you ready to fight. And I will give you solutions. This is what I intend to do with my book. And that money, when I have that kind of money, then that's one of the great things I look forward to. I want to do things like make earthbag homes, earthen homes. I want to build homes that last centuries, that are hurricane, tornado, earthquake, and flood-proof, fire-proof, termite-proof, that are totally in line with nature. I know how to do this. I don't have the money to do it. If I had the money, I would have built my own home and I would have showed it already.
Yeah,
but
that's saying we don't need too much. But then if you have money, you can help other people. You can help build a better world. It takes money. I was looking into politics. They say to win a primary, you need $3 million. So it's like,
here's another one. Yeah, $3 million. Here's another one I would do, Jake. I had a plan. I registered the company. It was called Aloha Palestine.
Aloha Palestine. I love it.
Because it was, and I'm telling you, I had the support of Tony Benn, who was like an icon of the peace anti-war movement in England. I had Jeremy Corbyn, who should have been prime minister, but is still a high-level minister in the UK, and has been on the right side of history many times over. And the plan was to break the blockade of Gaza by doing lawful trade between the European Union and Palestine. If I had, let's say I had $1 billion, right? I'm going to spend probably about $50 million on a ship. I'm going to pay for the captain, the crew, the shipping broker, and everything, the licenses, the fees, and everything. And I'm going to set off on the first and most historic journey ever to Gaza, and it's going to be trade, not aid. And the reason why is the laws. I've studied the laws. Trade law is completely different from humanitarian law. Totally different. And I've developed it. I spent years studying this stuff. It's not really my passion, but you know why I did it? I listened to the Palestinians. You know what they said they wanted? They didn't say they wanted aid. What they said was they wanted freedom of movement. Yeah. They wanted the ability to be able to come and go.
They can't even trade. People don't understand this. They have Israel
and to import and export.
Come in.
They have carnations.
They're treated like animals, worse than animals, like cattle.
They have carnations that they grow that could be exported. Like they could make kufias.
They can make money.
They could make kufias.
Oh yeah, those would be popular.
Can you imagine if you had a kufia?
One right from I would buy one. I would buy one from Gaza for sure. Then you're helping them out.
You would pay 10 times as much for one from Gaza than you would for China, and
without a doubt.
So anyway, yeah, this is why, if I have money, when I have money, if that is what is to come, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do these kinds of things. It's only going to expand my ability to do good. That's it. And that's why my enemies don't want me to have that money.
The reason the Jews dominate is because they have lots of billionaires and they all push their money back into supporting Israel. And a lot of times they get their money from nefarious ways, but they put hundreds of millions back into buying our politicians, doing all kinds of slimy stuff. And us Gentiles, we don't really do that to help our own. It's like we need some billionaires. And I need to do better myself, too. I'm not rich, but I need to do better to try to help. And I'm trying to figure out ways that can actually be helpful, because I don't want to donate to some cause that just steals your money.
You know what the irony is? You know this, but let me just say it for anybody who maybe it's lost on them. Like the greatest feeling I ever had in my life, I've had a lot of great experiences, right? I'm sure you've had fights, you've won, you've had intimacy,
highs, lows.
You've had intimacy with the woman you love,
beautiful women,
whatever, your children, whatever. You've had some beautiful memories. One of, if not even the most beautiful memory I have in my life is when, back in 2007, I heard of a plan called Free Gaza, which was some activists who had set the course to take some boats to Gaza. Now, back then, this just simply hadn't been done. And when I heard about it, immediately, being the activist that I am, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And immediately I wrote to them and I said, look, I love what you're doing. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I give you full support. I am also a captain, so if you need my services, I'm here. They wrote back and they said yes, they did. They'd like my services. So I went to Greece, which is where these boats were. They weren't even seaworthy, and I literally worked on these boats for like 4 months. The mother of my children was pregnant. She actually came down while she was pregnant to spend some time with me because, once again, I'm off gallivanting around doing what I do. And those boats were prepped, and there were problems. Like, those things could have sunk. There were some serious problems, but we identified those things and fixed it. We then sailed those boats from Greece to Cyprus. The Israelis were saying we were pirates and they would treat us as such. And we set off with these 2 boats, and there were a lot of challenges along the way, and a lot of stuff that happened. But the bottom line is we sailed into Gaza. This is the first time that it had been done in 41 years.
You guys actually landed on...
We literally sailed into Gaza, and all of the Palestinians who thought there was no chance, can you imagine, like, the abandonment that they feel, right? Like, the whole world is abandoned them.
Entire world,
And here comes 2 boats sailing in, and I'm a captain. I'm captaining one of these boats, well, both of them, actually. But anyway, I was driving one of them. I couldn't drive 2 at one time. And we sailed in, and the joy I saw on the faces of the Palestinians, the children jumping into the water, waving flags,
must have felt good.
It was like, imagine winning your best fight and more.
Yeah, just
because it's more than just your own personal achievement.
Like, you're giving them a little moment of hope.
Literally.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy who lives in Gaza online the other day, and it's just like I'm fighting for you as hard as I can. I'm sorry for what my country's. I'm trying to find a way to free you. It's just the pain. He was just thanking me so much for what I'm doing, and I'm just like, I'm not doing enough, brother. I just feel ashamed that I can't fucking help you. I'm trying, but our disgusting government does that to them.
I know exactly what you mean, brother. I'm in touch
drives me
with
crazy that I can't fucking.
I'm in touch with family in Gaza. I've been in touch with them throughout this whole thing. I've managed to, through crowdfunding and whatnot, send them thousands of dollars.
People online is all I've talked to. These ones are legit because they're not the ones asking for money. If someone's asked for money, this guy's just thanking me so much for trying to help, and it's just like, brother, I really wish I could do more. And we're trying, dude. We're gonna win this fight. Cowards think we can't win it, but we're gonna win this fight.
Yeah.
You can feel the momentum shifting.
I tell you, I do, and that's what I agree with you. At the same time, hey man, I'm ready to be on the losing side and die in the process if that's what it takes.
That's
and
what
so
it takes.
be it.
Yeah.
But
we have to all be willing to die.
I feel the same way you do. Israel's done. You're done.
Yes.
You're done.
And we can't
You're
let
over.
up. We have to make sure of that.
Palestine, one state, everyone equal
one
under the
state
law.
Solution,
Historic Palestine restored.
Yes.
You're done, Israel. So, but either way, whatever, man. All I know is I wouldn't have my self-respect if I in any way compromised my loyalty to my family in Gaza. They're my adopted family in Palestine. I love them. I know what they're doing. I know what they're going through, and I'll be damned before I would ever turn my back on them.
So you're a man of extremely high character. From a young age, did you have this, or is it something you learned later on in life? Or
I love irony. Irony is a big thing for me. I was always good. I was always like, I was the kid when I saw someone else getting bullied, right? Or I was the kid that was ready to fight. If you want to disrespect me or try and intimidate me, like that's not going to work. I'm going to fight you. And Daddy wasn't there to teach me, so but I've been given skills, and I have a chin. Like nobody's been able to knock me out.
You can throw some. Seen you shadow box a little bit. You know what you're doing. You can throw some blows.
Yeah, and all I need is a bit of training. When I was training with a Muay Thai, former world champion, he was teaching me stuff, and I could feel the difference in like my technique and what I was doing. But I'm still got full range of movement. I'm still capable at 56, and I could be a formidable. You wouldn't want to face me unless you had some talent yourself. You're a different animal. I mean, I would have no choice.
Me,
no
but
chance.
regular people, yeah.
It is what it is. But when I was a kid, I was the kid who would also stand up. Like if somebody was being bullied, I would go up to the bully and like, you want to pick on someone like me. Yeah. What are you doing? I'll tell you what. I'll meet you at the park after school. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
So I had those tendencies already. But ironically, it was the Marine Corps, right? Because I was damn good. I was damn good as a Marine. And I was put into a position of authority that no other Marine with my time in service had. I had a huge responsibility carrying the M249 SAW, the squad automatic weapon, the Rambo gun, basically. But they fucked me over so hard for me doing the right and honorable thing and honoring my oath, and really, they fucked me over hard. And I got nothing, and I got negative judgment, and I lost opportunity coming out of the Marine Corps and everything. I got nothing. I got none of my college benefits that I paid into, no veterans benefits at all. I can't even go on a base right now. Literally, like I can't even, like if I took you to San Diego right now and tried to go on the very they won't let me on. They literally won't let me on. So, anyway, my point is that all that did was just motivate me, like, okay, all right, I'm the other than honorable guy, am I?
Yeah.
Okay, all right then. You motivate me. Injustice motivates me.
Yeah.
So the more that you put me through,
the harder you fight back.
The more I'm fucking more engaged now.
Yeah.
So, that's part of why Malaysia's been I've been kind of too comfortable. I've actually been comfortable for the first time.
Nice over there or what? I need to go visit you.
Oh, Malaysia!
I gotta go to Vietnam in a couple months. That's not too far away.
All right, that's right. Yeah, right next door.
Getting married over there, so maybe I'll.
Yeah, please.
My schedule's so chaotic. We've never been to Malaysia. Maybe I'll come there for a couple of days. Where in Malaysia are you at?
I will try and get you an audience with Dr. Mahathir, man. I mean,
is that like the
former prime minister?
That'd be awesome.
And he's 21 years.
Maybe I'll bring Ron with me.
He's
too.
the guy who was saying the Jews were responsible for 9/11. Like
Ron gets to come along on all my vacations. He came to Thailand with us. It's like funny. Ron, the producer, I guess, he didn't know anything about fighting, and he comes out, meets Nate Diaz. They become like buddy. He had no idea who Nate was. Like everyone's dying to meet Nate, and then Ron's like buddy with Nate. Like it's like he doesn't know who he was. Like, oh, I really like your friend. Then he sees, wait, he's a huge superstar. So people coming
I'm not
up to
surprised, motherfuckers.
Yeah, right. Could you imagine? He didn't realize how famous Nate was. Then they go out, he's against Swarm. He's like, oh, this guy's really famous.
Yeah, he so deserves it. And I know,
I'm gonna
know.
go film with him this weekend or Sunday.
Yeah, you're like mates with these guys.
He's like literally my little brother. Like that's my fucking brother. We would die together. Yeah. I know he would die for me, and I would die for him. That's my brother.
Yeah.
Like it's really it feels like an actual brother. We've been friends for like 25 years. We bled together. We fought together.
See, you will know this. That's the standard. If I say like friend, right?
I'll die for that.
That is what a friend is right there. That
I know.
There is no way that guy is going to abandon
We've literally been jumping like 30 people. We stood back to back fighting, dude. He didn't run. It's like, well, we're going to fucking go down together. I had another friend ran at me one time that happened. What was I supposed to do? You're supposed to get your fucking ass kicked.
Literally.
Stop being friends with that guy. If I know Nate, Nick, we're all going down together if one of us goes down.
That's a friend.
That's
this word friend is thrown around too lightly.
Not many people have the honor of having friends they know are going to sit and fucking die with you if need be.
That's a real friend. If you have one, you're doing good.
I'm fortunate that I have a couple, which is rare, and it's like we've been in some crazy situations that almost aren't believable, Maybe it's believable because it's like Nick and Nate. People know how crazy they are, but fuck, we've been in some crazy. We need a movie, bro. We need to get a movie on the scrap pack.
That was a funny situation. You were close to me, man, and I was like, oh fuck. And we had done the interview already. You were in Thailand. John Jones was there, and the Russians and all that.
The Chechens. I played that way down too. How sketch that actually was. I'll tell you later, bro. Like how sketch that actually turned, bro. Oh,
I could see even with the censorship.
You could see what type of people those were, right? That it was like. I don't want to say anything on air, but you could see that they were some very serious people were
dangerous.
Very, very dangerous. And then I did called a couple around a little bit, and some people I know connected in some very organizations, and they were like, "You're around some very, very, very dangerous people." Leave. That's what everyone said. There wasn't like, oh, let me call them.
It was like a trap, wasn't it? It was like this really cool opportunity,
We walked, a little context. You will know Nate Diaz, extremely famous fighter. We're hired. offered a shitload of money to go out to Thailand, some Russian reality TV show, like, oh, this seems easy. Nate goes, oh, I'll go if you go. Like I said, he's like my brother, so I'm not going to have him go out to some Russian reality show by himself. So we go out there, bro. We walked into a house full of 100 Chechnyan, like, mobsters, and it's just like, oh, bro, it's just a setup. And it turned it, I got a tiny bit of it caught on camera, but multiple fights, just like, I can't even get into it. I'll
Seriously, yeah, we'll do that off camera.
Some of the shit.
What was released, what I saw was
even
like,
that was crazy.
Wow, I knew, like, whoa, dude.
Yeah, we walked into a serious situation, you know, and like.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how tough you are. You're way outnumbered and like in their territory.
Yeah, in their territory. I'm sure they're paying the police off. Like, we were in a very bad situation.
Yeah.
And we were just like, let's live, you know. And then the manager's calling us back. Oh, we can get you for a large sum of money to come back and film. It's like, we're good. You guys are trying to talk us into it. And it's like, bro, no, we're good.
Well, I remember seeing after you managed to get out of that house and you were actually on the street, like you were like, I could see, like, you know, like you didn't cut and run, like completely run,
no
but
shoes.
you were
if
like.
You notice I had no shoes when I left the house. I lost my shoes in one of the brawls, but I wasn't going back in that house to get my shoes. We had to fight our way out to the street. They were trying to not let us leave. It gets so crazy, bro. We'll talk a little off air.
Okay, yeah.
It gets so fucking crazy.
I look forward to that, but yeah, I mean, this isn't that of the. I believe we were talking about this, or maybe it was me and Io, but. I know you have what I have as well in this regard. I got tons of stories, man. You know, like, I remember my father. He was an abusive father and all that. I love you, Dad, you know, so on and so forth. So I'm not talking shit about my dad. God bless him. But he had stories up the ass. He had stories, you know. And I would listen to my dad talk about these stories and, like, I would
forget
just
how crazy our
fascinated.
lives are compared to other people. Like, I'm literally out in Morocco with the king of Morocco. Like, this weird shit like that. Like, sitting there, how the fuck did they come from a trailer time hanging out with the king, the fucking king of Morocco? He was actually cool. Like, how did my life end up here?
Are you Jake? You're the classic trailer trash, are you?
Pretty white trash. I didn't grow up with that white privilege that I hear so much about.
No, you didn't have that.
No, I didn't have that white privilege that they always tell me about.
Well, it makes sense why you're best mates with the Diaz brothers.
I had
you know?
parents that loved me, though, so that was just my dad
them.
had gone through a bad accident where he couldn't work, and it was just so unfortunate because it's like the kid don't understand like how much that hurt him to not be able to do his job. And later we became like best friends after I started fighting. He became my manager, became so happy again.
Oh, wow.
He had a job. We became so close, and I was so fortunate to understand why he was suffering because he was ran over in a really bad car crash. But at least he loved me, you know.
It reminds me of the Palestinians once again, because imagine being a father, you can't protect your children and you can't provide for them.
So he was ashamed, like he couldn't do anything. So I didn't understand.
It would crush your manhood.
That as a kid, you know. But then when he started managing me, he made me a lot of fucking money. You know, I was paid a lot better than a lot of other fighters, and he was so happy again. It's like we became so close, like best friends. And I was so happy that I got to see that. Not that I hated my father as a kid, but it was like. We weren't as close. I was a lot closer to my mom. And a lot of kids don't have any parents that love them.
No.
I grew up around a lot of kids with no parents that love them. So it's like...
Yeah. And even my father, he was abandoned to... his mother was not a proper mother. And he was put in an orphanage at 4 years old and separated from his sister.
To be a kid and have no one that loves you, it's like, I had no money, but that's fine, bro.
Not only that,
having love, that's tough.
But he was literally mentally, physically, and sexually abused. So, you know, I never knew. I thank God for never saying to my dad, like, you know what, fuck you, Dad. I hope you fucking rot in hell. I hate you, whatever. Never said anything like that. And actually, I did the opposite. I told him that I loved him, and you know, I forgave him for whatever it was worth. And you know, but imagine, like, you know, if I was put into an orphanage and mentally, physically, and sexually abused, would I be this man sitting here with you?
It's tough, man, not to have that, not to have that love. You know, that's way more important than money. A lot of my friends, you know, they had parents that abused them. They had no food at home. I always had food. You know, I could eat. So it's like, yeah, maybe I didn't have clothes and shit, and that's embarrassing. But like, I had food.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, and I've seen, lots of white people, they don't have fucking food at home. That's why when you see the Republicans, let's cut school lunch. That might be the kids' only fucking meal of the day.
Literally, yeah.
You know, ain't the kids' fault if their parents are fucking drug addicts. You can buy food stamps for 50 cents on the dollar, you know, because they'll trade their food stamps in, or I guess it's EBT cards now, but back then it's like the stamp, so it's like an embarrassment.
You know, that's the one benefit that I've had from the United States, because when I was homeless several years ago, I was like talking to somebody and they said, "Oh yeah, I get food stamps. I get this much money a month or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, really? Wow." He said, "Yeah, you can go do that." And I'm like,
They can at least
really?
give you food, you know? You're an American. It's like,
Well,
we're the richest country in the world. We can at least fucking feed our people. We can send billions of dollars to Israel. It's like,
that's what made it real personal for me, because I'm telling you, man, this was a godsend to me. And actually, I was very fortunate in that I was in Hawaii when I found this out. I was living like on a couch, or I was living in a valley, like in a tent type thing. So I had no money. I was basically homeless, and I found out about this, you know, and ultimately I went in and I managed to get the EBT card, the stamp.
yeah.
And because I was in Hawaii, it is adjusted, so the amount you get is higher because the cost is higher.
Insane.
So it was like $600 a month that I was getting for food. So
But
I
you
can
could
only
eat
buy
then,
food.
yeah, but at least you
But
could
that's
eat.
all I wanted.
I just wanted to eat.
With that kind of money, because I eat once a day as a normal thing, I went from like struggling to be able to like get something half decent to like eating really good food, because the way I eat and so on. And it was like a godsend to me. So when this happened recently and the SNAP benefits were cut off because the government was shut down, it was like, whoa, man.
Yeah, I know.
Like, whoa, dude, that hurts, man. For the people who really need that shit like I did.
Yeah, I have a tenant in a place I rent, and she was like asking for like $50 off she couldn't eat. I'm like, just take the month off. And then she's like so ecstatic, like almost started crying, like, because to her that money was like,
Big time.
she was like, I'm struggling. Could I please like get $50 off rent? And I'm just like, you can't feed your kids. Just take the month off, just, you know. But to her, that's like such a big deal. To me, that didn't hurt me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It hurt like maybe let her get buy some Christmas presents now for her kids. Because it sucks as a parent if you can't buy Christmas presents for your kids. There's nothing worse than that.
Once again, this reminds me of Gaza. You know, they're like starving for fucking real over there.
Right.
And I know for a fact that people are what tiny amount of food may be available, they're sharing it.
Yeah,
They're
they're all,
sharing
you
it.
see
They're
them sharing, and
you know,
it sucks to be hungry. There has been times in my life, you know, when after I left home, I had a daughter, and I was struggling, and I had to feed my daughter before I ate, and it sucks when you're hungry.
yeah,
But I was too prideful to ask anyone for money or help.
yeah. Again, from a man's perspective, you can't provide for your family, and you can't protect your family. What does that do to your manhood?
It breaks you.
And what the Palestinians have had to deal with, not only that, and then they get raped and fucking all sorts of shit.
I would certainly join a resistance force.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly, yeah.
To call them terrorists is insane to me. They're freedom fighters.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to have to censor that part if we put this on YouTube. Isn't it crazy that it's controversial to say, oh, if I got raped and my kids killed, I would resist?
What's really offensive is that I took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. And the First Amendment, free speech, I've said it for decades now. You know, you might as well flush that shit down the toilet.
Yeah.
But it's fucking bullshit that Americans have allowed. Why would you allow what makes, if America were actually great, it would be great because you had free speech.
Yes.
It would be great because you have the right to bear arms, and it's not only the fucking police who have guns. If it were great, it would be because there were real men who did things like stand up to King George III and say, fuck you with your tax. I'm not paying you. We're not paying you for that
Your
shit.
2%, I think, is all he was asking. And they had a revolt. Now we're a bunch of fucking cowards.
Those are the things
First
that would
Amendment
make America
needs to
great.
apply to social media, bro. Social media is the public square now. To not, like, you're more censored than me, but I'm starting to get censored a lot more now, too. I think there's, like, coordinated attacks against me.
And now I'll help you.
I got videos removed from Instagram today. One was Bryce Mitchell saying, like, Israel needs to stop bombing kids. Another one was someone talking about how they raped their prisoners with that video.
God bless Bryce, by the way. Yeah,
Bryce is awesome.
Really.
Bryce, I love Bryce
God bless
Mitchell.
him,
He's a fighter. Some of my audience doesn't follow fighting. What did he say?
and he's right.
How he wanted to go fishing with It was awesome. And the UFC went so big on being pro censorship they couldn't fire him, but they weren't happy. They were not happy.
No.
They were not happy.
When he prayed and when he won that fight, too, it was like...
But he didn't apologize.
No.
He still wants to go fishing with
He's
Adolf
like
Hitler.
a good old down-home Southern boy.
He's invited me to stay at his home. I should take him up on that. He's just such a good dude. Kind of guy, why don't you come stay with me for a couple of days and I'll show you around. Where's from Arkansas? I should take him up on that.
I've got an invitation to Alabama to meet a really cool dude. I'd love to meet Bryce.
I'll try to introduce you because you've got to talk to Bryce. You got to hear his opinions. You guys are going to get along. I'm not going to share anything. I think his opinions are pretty much known. He hasn't really.
But we can get real down and dirty.
He hasn't really backtracked. You know what I mean? He's been pretty clear his views of who the synagogue is. He's really religious. The Synagogue of Satan. And,
the UFC set him up too. Who's that beast they put him with who really fucked him up, knocked him out?
But yeah, they're trying to get him to lose now because who owns the UFC? You probably know.
Yes, indeed.
It's not Dana White.
I was so like that hurt for me because I just like
we love the UFC.
He really got fucking knocked out too.
No, and Bryce is such a good dude. But the UFC was bought by Ari Emanuel?
Yeah, I saw it.
Jewish billionaire.
I
stopped getting free tickets to the UFC. You know, legend I am. They don't give me free tickets anymore. They never said why, but I think we can kind of figure it out.
We know why.
The last couple times I asked for tickets, we're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I always got tickets before that.
I've never been to a UFC fight.
Well, I would have taken you, but now I don't get free tickets. I used to get front row tickets to every fight. That's been revoked. But you know what? Whatever. And I won't buy them off principle because it's like.
I know Ari. You know, funny enough, I was in. Here's something. A little unique thing. Ari Emanuel's brother is Ram.
This is the guy about UFC. This is very important. Yes.
Was in my last girlfriend, who I got a lot of shit for as well. She was like half my age, right? I was 47. She was 24.
I don't know why people hate on that so much. People get so angry about that, but
they're
if
just
the girl's
jealous
happy
little
and the guy's
faggots
happy,
anyway.
like,
fuck off, man.
Yeah, men get so mad about that. It's like fuck off, bro. It's like I can sin, but someone else doesn't consent. It's like go fuck yourself.
I make no apologies. So anyway,
good for you. Fuck all the haters.
I was doing the fuck the TSA tour, right? The fuck the Transport and Security Administration tour, right? I did. This was like 8 years ago, right? So we're traveling across the United States, and I'm giving lectures everywhere. I'm talking about I'm talking about I'm talking about the whole lot of it.
All the fun subjects.
Yeah. And we were in Chicago. Guess who was mayor of Chicago at that particular time? Rahm Emanuel was.
Brother of Ari Emanuel, who now is UFC.
And we were staying in a Hyatt in downtown Chicago. Now, without getting into all the details of this story, I'll give enough of the story, right? We were fighting. Me and my lady were fighting, right? We had a passionate love affair. I'm not going to make any apologies for this.
I've been in one of those.
But let's just say that it was such a fight that it got the attention of people in the hotel. And eventually security came up to the door with an absolute intent to
possibly arrest,
see her and make sure she's okay. Now, at that point, she could have like thrown me right under the bus, right? Like right under the bus. Now, I will say this flat out. I have never hit a woman. I will never hit a woman. I do not do this. No fucking way.
Yeah, but
she even gave me a black eye another time.
I've been hit by girls.
Literally.
Now I've learned a situation where girls yell at me, I just leave because it's like, being a fighter could totally destroy my image if I was accused of something I didn't do, and I've never hit a girl.
No way. I did in the 3rd grade, and I gave her a black eye, and I've never touched a girl
I
since.
did hit a girl once. I dropped a fucking bitch, but it was Antifa with a mask came out, run at me with a bat, and I go, bam! And then I realized I just floored a girl. I didn't even know it was a girl when I floored her, and I have no regrets or apologies about that.
Yeah.
You swing a bat at me, you get knocked the fuck out.
That's natural law. That's God's law. They sent the security up, and I was like shitting myself because I knew like if she could throw me under the bus right now. She could say that I did something. You get arrested.
You're accused of being a woman beater. The worst thing ever.
So they came to the door, and I answered, and they wanted to push their way through, and I was like, "No, what the fuck are you doing?" Right? And I'm being me.
Yeah.
And basically they were like, "We need to see,
make sure she's okay."
The lady, and ultimately, are you there? Are you there? Are you okay? And she answered positively, right? Like,
Thank God she not get me
yes,
thrown
I'm
in jail.
okay. We had a fight, but and they still wanted and then at that point it was like, here, you can, okay. So I allowed the door, and then they could see her, and she affirmed what she said. But here's the reality, though. Now, keep in mind, I'm doing the Fuck the TSA tour. I'm calling out the Jews, and I'm talking about Adolf. And now I've just had a fight with my lady. Security been called, and we've got multiple witnesses who heard the fucking shouting and all this. And I realized after they left, like, oh, fuck. This is a murder-suicide setup right now.
Oh, fuck.
I'm in Rahm Emanuel's fucking town as a mayor in a Hyatt with security already as verifiable witnesses that there was a fight.
Damn.
And you know what we did? Like, literally, I told her, I said, pack, we need to leave now. And it was snowing. It was winter. There was fucking snow everywhere.
Fucking Chicago, too. I just got back from Chicago before I came here.
We packed our bags, and we walked out, and I told her, we cannot get a taxi here. We could be followed. We could be followed. So we literally, I'm dragging bags like across the street and walking around, and I'm looking behind me, and I'm seeing who might be trailing. And we literally walked to another place. And fortunately for me, I did have a little bit of money because my mom had passed on a couple years earlier. But the bottom line is we went and got some fucking dump of a hotel and stayed in there. But that's my little Rahm Emanuel, which is connected to Ari Emanuel.
Trust your instincts. So I always trust my instincts. If I get off feeling, I do it. And he was a real piece of shit, I hear. Bilal Muhammad said, I forget what he did. He was doing something to harass the Palestinians. Okay, their father was part of one of the world's first terrorist organizations. Now, I can't remember which, because Israel had 3 terrorist organizations. I mean, you know all this.
Yeah, Ergen, Stern
But the father
gang,
was literally one of these terrorist organizations. There was like bombing hotels. This is the father of the guy. One was... Who did he work for?
They are the original gangster terrorists.
Yeah.
They really are.
Who did he work? He worked for the White House. Was it Obama or
which one?
After he was mayor, the one that was mayor in Chicago, he went to run the White House.
He did. He was some sort of consultant or something.
Staff. Or was it Obama?
Well, keep in mind,
maybe?
Obama was sucking some dick and snorting coke in Chicago,
I
and the guy.
I hear he was literally sucking dick.
No, he literally. I actually, there was a thing, a great thing actually. It hasn't happened for a couple of years. It's called Freedom Palooza, and it's a friend of mine who's in a rock band and a really good guy. Anyway, one year I've spoke there a couple of times, and it was down home American, like kind of white conservative Christian, like rock music sort of thing. And one year they had the guy who was the boyfriend. I forget his name, but Barack Obama's boyfriend, and they used to snort coke and suck dick in Chicago. And this is undeniable. Like, this is absolutely
I've seen this
proven.
guy making these claims. I've definitely seen it. I used to be skeptical, but now it's not surprised.
100% legit. So, anyway, that's Chicago for you, I mean,
it's funny. I remember like a year ago, I fed Ian Carroll the story of the UFC because no one covered it, but I didn't want to cover it because I ended up talking about it later and losing my access to go to the UFC. But I remember I fed Ian Carroll the story, and everyone's sending me like, Jake, do you know this? But I'm just like, oh, interesting, because at the time I wasn't ready to say like, yeah, I gave Ian Carroll that story. He did a great job covering it, though. If you met Ian, he's a great dude.
I have not met Ian. I admire very much what he's doing.
I should put you guys in touch because Ian's again, he's new to it, but he's he's a fast learner. He does he's an honest person.
I love his clinical analysis and his collection of data and presentation.
He's a really good job. And everyone learns different ways. So there's rooms for different people, different types of personalities. Everyone wants us to all act the same. It's like, we're all going to have our own methods.
Yeah. Actually, on that note, Ryan Matta, I'd like to throw out Ryan is amazing, producing absolutely amazing stuff.
He's such a G.
I want to remember all the good people because there's a lot of like independent, like, very
there's
respectable.
There's a lot of people now that are stepping up, so thankfully, not enough, but there's a lot more. Ryan Matta, I was interviewing about sex trafficking maybe a year and a half ago. He knew nothing about the thing. I started telling him some things. He caught on like that.
Yeah.
And now he's going hard. He started, because he respected me, so he started listening to what I was saying, and he started asking questions.
Yeah. Well, he came out to Malaysia, and he was doing another thing out there as well. But he literally spent 3 days with me.
Oh, that's right. He mentioned that, yeah.
And so he actually just forwarded me recently all the raw tapes, which haven't even been put out yet, because he lost a lot of money from doing this work. There's
he
not
was
really
funding his own money.
Yes.
I think he like lost
So
through a lot of his money, you know. But that just shows you how much he cares.
Yes,
And
and
it's hard, very hard to get funding when you cover these type of topics.
we got to know each other, me and Ryan, and it was very, very obvious and very clear. And through lengthy discussions we had outside of the interviews that we did over 3 days, he is serving God. He is, and like you and me, like, you know, this fact that millions of children are missing and being raped right now.
I didn't believe
is
the numbers when he
unacceptable.
first told me. I thought, is this guy some kind of crazy quack? So he told me the number of missing children coming through the border. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
go,
real.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Yeah,
Because I can't bring on. I go, oh my fucking god! I can't remember what the numbers were. It was shocking.
it is.
And like I
really.
said, we have to sell. Well, speaking of so funny, actually, I did just pick up a nice sponsor. You know, Arms List, which it's a marketplace for selling and buying guns. I'd like to thank them so much. It's a base sponsor that stepped up and they go, you know what? We're going to take the risk. You're speaking truth. We're going to take the risk and help fund you. And
I'd be happy to have a sponsor like that.
Guys.
Yeah,
I'd like to thank those guys so much. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say that. I won't even say a name, but just thanks so much because someone really took the chance. He goes, you know what? I know what's right. You know, I think I'll throw a commercial in there too. But you know, Arms List. It's just so nice when someone finally steps up and goes, put some money. Because we have to all fund ourselves, and it's like you can't live our life without money because we get demonetized from YouTube, Twitter, like everything.
Yeah, yeah. I'm only just starting to grow that a little bit, and fortunately for me, like, you know, where I live in Malaysia, I have a beautiful place, 1,800 square feet, 2-bedroom, absolutely beautiful place, right there in the city center of Kuala Lumpur, and I'm paying $1,000 a month for that. You know, like here, if I want $1,000, what's $1,000 going to get me? It's.
I'm gonna see if I could find you a sponsor, maybe the one I just talked about. I don't know if you do guns or not. It's a
I love
marketplace for guns.
Second Amendment,
You
mate.
couldn't take the other one I had, yeah. Because let me see if I could get you something. Because you deserve.
Plus,
to make
I'm a
some
machine
you
gunner,
deserve
man.
to
Give
make
me
some
a
fucking money,
machine gun,
It's
man.
like
And you know, I'm a
I
third
wanna
award
see a guy
rifle
like you having
expert.
some fucking money.
I didn't wear it, but I actually have my dress blues. I was flying. I flew through China, right? From Malaysia. I went through China, and I had a 24-hour layover in Guangzhou. And then I had another stop in Wuhan, and I thought, that's
shit.
cool, man. Here I am.
Wuhan,
Apparently, like,
cool.
I'm in Wuhan. And anyway, I was like, oh, yeah, I got to do this. Plus, I knew when I fly into America, let's see, what kind of reception am I going to get? So I like to wear my dress blues for that. Like, all right,
You're wearing your best.
if you're going to mess with me, then you go ahead and mess with the Marine who's been in a war and combat and all that, all right? And anyway, I was wearing my dress blues in China as well, which I thought was pretty funny because I've done it in Iran too.
Yeah.
I've worn it in Iran.
How would you like Iran? I've been wanting to go there for a while.
I've loved Iran and
People there treat you good. Iranians,
really,
they love wrestling. So random Iranians always come to me because my ears and want to talk to me.
yeah,
They always come up like, oh, wrestler. And they're always so friendly.
Yeah.
I'm always told Muslims hate me, but they always treat me so good.
I've been to Iran several times. I've given lectures around the country. Speaking as somebody who actually was poisoned as well, Scott Bennett.
Yeah, I'm worried they poisoned my friend Brandon. Fuck,
Yeah.
I forget how to pronounce his last name, but he just did this documentary. He's got like over 1 million YouTube followers, and he did a documentary on started having health problems after that.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can look up his last name.
Well, Scott Bennett, he was funny. I have like lectures with me and Scott, and I always laugh because Scott went harder than me. He made me look kind of soft on the Jew because he was coming from the hardcore Christian
or something.
Right? Yeah. He's hardcore Christian, right?
Yeah, so-
they fucking crucified my Savior, man. I'm fucking angry about it, right?
I'd be fucking angry. Just off subject, real quick, my friend, like Brandon Buckingham, he's the one who they killed the family of the people, and he's in the hospital right now. I'm worried that I hope he's okay. You know, I tried calling him a couple times, he didn't answer. I'm really worried for his health right now, praying for him. So
Yeah.
hopefully
Poison.
he's right.
That's one of their
I'm a
favorite.
little
They
worried
poisoned
'cause
me too. I felt
we were talking about going back and filming something together. We were trying to figure if we can get in the West Bank or not. You know, probably not. See, he's got this documentary he just did on the kids.
super fucking dangerous.
He went
to
in
go
the
there now,
homeless
boy.
kids of Lebanon and stuff, and then they went and killed their families. And it's like I could just tell he was generally a good person, you know.
Yeah.
We did this really good interview, but unfortunately got lost.
Yeah.
So real quick, you have a $5 bill sitting on the table. You're going to hand it to me before the show. And I said, I don't know why you handed it to me, but you said there's a story to it. So why don't you?
Let me do that.
I said, why don't you save it for the show?
Here is like, you know what? Like we've talked about a lot of stuff, and it's been an absolute pleasure. But one of the things we haven't talked about is the solutions, right? What are the solutions? And that's something that I've been focused on for decades. Like, okay, great, we can all, do the fear porn thing and talk about how fucked up everything is. But what are the solutions? What are we going to sit here and bitch about it?
Exactly.
The last president that we had, who was not a perfect man, okay? This was a flawed man, and there's no question if anybody wants to do real research. But the man who I admire, the man who stood up to those who now run the country and have actually run it for longer than that, we have to go back to 1913 when we can talk about the official takeover of the country. But the last president we had that would have been somebody that I could have registered and voted for, and certainly with what he did, was John F. Kennedy. Now, isn't that funny? Because anybody who knows anything about serious history and research knows who the fuck killed John F. Kennedy.
Israel, yeah.
And this right here is the proof, really, of what it was. But there were several things that they killed him for. But this, I would argue, is number one. He was going to, the precursor to AIPAC was the American Zionist Council. Yep. And he was absolutely committed to having that registered as a foreign agent, which meant
they are.
They are indeed. And they would never have been able to buy our Congress and government if he had done that. The other thing that he was going to do, which was have Dimona, which is the nuclear power plant where a Jewish spy stole the nuclear technology and took it back to Israel, and they built Dimona, and it has made weapons-grade uranium so that they have nukes, and by best accounts, 200 to 400 nukes. He was going to insist on having that inspected, which would have stopped their nuclear weapons program. So
they wouldn't be able to register as far, and they wouldn't have nukes. They wouldn't be able to treat their neighbors like that without those.
He was also going to abolish the CIA, which at that point had been taken over by the Jews as well, same as today. Mm-hmm. And so these were very dangerous things. However, this is the most dangerous thing, and I definitely want to give this to you. So for the audience, this is a $5 note, and there'll be a couple of things about it, especially if we get a close-up in here later, that are really poignant to see. Number one, if you had a regular $5 note, the seal here would not be red, it would be green.
Yeah, I noticed that red right away.
So there you go. You've got a red seal. This is 1963. John F. Kennedy was president at that time. The bigger thing is up here at the top, where a normal bill will say Federal Reserve note. Mm-hmm. What does it say?
We're at on the Washington, D.C. This is not illegal.
Up here?
Oh, the United States note.
United States note. That's backed by silver. That's not a Federal Reserve note. And he issued that.
It looks so different.
And he was dead within 5 months. Wow. So there you go. That's yours, Jake.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think the Federal Reserve is very important. Like you mentioned, 1913, too. I think that's when they really took power. The Warburgs.
Yes. And there's a book.
Jewish bankers. It's just like.
There's a great book. I highly recommend it. If you appreciate what it is that I say and the kind of knowledge that I share, get the book, A History of Central Banking and the Enslavement of Mankind.
I tried buying that, but I don't think it's still on Amazon. I need to get a copy of that.
They wouldn't want people to know what's in that book.
Yeah, I've been having a hard time getting a copy of that because I hear that's a must-read.
I've been touting it, but it goes back millennia. It really does. It goes back, and it shows that this history, I actually talked with Dan about this in IO last night, and we kind of disagreed on this note. Even IO didn't fully agree with me on this one. But I stand by my position. Usury, lending money at interest, especially compounding interest. Not only is it immoral, it's what's responsible for the $38 trillion of debt that America's in. Who the fuck do we owe that to? And it's also what Jesus was very adamant about when he came out the temple and the banksters were doing their dirty usury money business, and he upturned the tables and splashed the gold all over.
That he pre-made.
He broke out a whip and he started whipping them. And even in Judaism, never mind Christianity and Islam, usury, lending money at interest is 100% not approved.
I'm
not
on your
approved.
side here. I would have backed you up with you yesterday. It's what's they keep families in debt, and they can't speak up because they have their mortgages, their car payments, and with the debt on it, I think the average American pays like $7,000 or $8,000 in interest a year.
Yep.
The credit card debt's like 30%. People don't understand how much money they're paying toward interest, and now we have interest on this $38 trillion we owe.
Yep.
So the Federal Reserve can print money out of thin air and then charge us fucking interest on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane.
And there you go. John F. Kennedy, who happens to be Irish, by the way. You go over to the south of Ireland and you will find in Irish pubs, they know where Kennedy's family comes from. He's an Irishman, like me and like you. Mm-hmm. You've got Celt blood, too.
Yeah,
maybe there's something to that. Maybe it's the Celt in us that makes us the way we are, because we know genocide, Yeah. Get over your little pity party, mate. The English tried to fucking genocide us for 800 fucking years. So,
they still resisted the whole time. And the Irish are strongly against Israel. There's some of the, didn't they kick out like the embassies and everything?
Yeah, no, they have. The Irish government is corrupt and fucking full of shit. But there are Irish politicians that have been magnificent and spoken so forcefully and so good. And the Irish people, more importantly. I
love the Irish. I had a feud with them for a couple of years after I cornered Nate Diaz for both those Conor McGregor fights. And they were such passionate Conor fans back then, but now they switched to our side. So we had some hostilities with the Irish, but now I love the Irish.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we all kind of were a little bit in love with Conor in the beginning.
Cool. I was cornering Diaz against him, so.
Well,
so we were in a massive feud.
Before that, though. Before that, he did get Conor. He got Dana White privilege. Okay, so whatever. You're too much on the inside.
He was handed easy fights. He did knock out though that really good guy, Brazilian
Mendez,
guy.
Not Mendez.
He beat him too, but he only had a couple of days notice for the fight.
Mendez, yeah.
But he knocked out a fucking really good Brazilian and caught him out in like 5 seconds, which is extremely impressive.
Oh my God!
That's what really blew him up. I'm retarded. I can't think of his name because I know exactly
name.
Right. That's what
Jose Aldo.
Yes, there you go. That's what really blew him up. Mendez was a good fight too, but Mendez only had I think a week's notice or something, so he wasn't like in fight shape.
He seriously pulled some mental jujitsu with that one. Man.
That was amazing. He called the first round knockout, and then bam! I think it was a hook he hit him with.
Actually, it was a counter. Aldo came forward.
Yeah, he came in so mad because Conor was talking so much shit.
Came in with the left.
Yep. Because Conor talked so much shit. He had him hyped up. And he's like, I'm going to come fuck this guy up. He went, bam!
Literally. And in terms of fighting prowess, no doubt about it, precision beats power, timing beats speed. He had the ability to connect with that left right where you want it to connect to knock that person out.
I think my favorite coaching moment is always with Nate beat Conor, because Conor was talking shit about me too, and that's what turned Nate into a superstar. And it was just he beat the shit out, especially that first fight.
It was I loved it.
I was just
and he won the second fight too.
Exactly, he should have won the second one too, but the first one was great. I was just talking to shit. I was talking so much shit to Conor in the corner, just like, oh, you look at you get tired, you little bitch. So me and Conor got kind of a rocky relationship.
There.
Oh,
you were there.
I was like in the fucking corner, like someone just sent me. I'll see if I can find it real quick. There's like the best picture from that fight. I don't know if I can find it or not, but it was such a good coaching moment. I cornered him for both those fights, and like I said, he's like my little brother. Someone sent me this picture.
I was rooting for Nate, by the way.
That's how true friends should look for each
other's
success.
Shit.
That's just a moment of like pure happiness
and
excitement.
What a fucking
Someone
epic
sent me that. I'm
picture.
like, what an epic picture, right? It just catches the moment perfectly after he beat him.
Wow, like
I'll hold it closer. That's how your friends should look though when you're fucking success.
That is wait, hold on. Oh, it's not focusing.
You can't catch the fucking looks. Just the pure excitement and happiness. You can see sometimes people are haters and aren't happy for their friend's success. Because we took different times where I'd be more famous, Nick would be more famous, but we were all a true brotherhood. Well, let's end on something fun. We're almost 2 hours in. Let's talk about Germany because it said it's been 2 hours. Let's hit something.
Here's
at
my
the end.
strategy on that subject. Here's the facts. First off, let me make clear. I remember watching Dan Bilzerian, and he did not know these numbers at that time. He did a really good job.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and criticize him. I love what Dan does. But here's how many died in World War II. These are the best figures. These are the most quantifiable figures. These are undeniable figures. This is the real number. So I will say right now, once again, as I've said before, you can is 200.
Number, yeah.
That is the most accurate number.
Yeah, I think we don't know the exact number, but
Yes. And how many Christians died in that war?
Millions.
Which, by the way, who was it who declared war on Germany in 1933?
England and France.
Judea.
Judea, yeah, Judea.
Judea declares war
Jumping
on
ahead,
Germany, 1933.
Isn't that
14
crazy?
million Jews of the world unite, calling for the destruction of Germany.
Yep.
There is no difference between what the state of Israel did in 2023 when they declared war against what they said was Hamas, but we all know it is the Palestinian people,
Yeah.
and they called the Palestinians human animals. I have a book called Germany Must Perish, written by Kaufman, a Jew, where he's openly calling for absolute genocide. We're talking about the extermination of the German people in 1933. So,
Wow. So
for
this
those
is
of
years
you who
before
believe that Mr. Evil is fucking, you explain to me how the Jews of the world united, almost 100%, over 90% of them were openly supporting the total genocide. Okay? Oh, you didn't know that? Well, factor that into your fucking equation. So, this man, whose book I've read, which is, read it. You have an opinion about this man, read his book. And then let's talk some facts. So, this man who Judea declared war on, and his whole nation, here's what he did. When he inherited his position as the only popularly democratically elected leader in all of Europe, literally, not Winston Churchill, none of them, only Adolf was legitimately elected. He did not get outright power, because he didn't quite get that, so he was part of a coalition government, which meant he had to share the government power with fucking the enemy inside the gate, kind of like those dual nationals we got going right now. Like Epstein list being hidden from you. That kind of fucking enemy inside the gate, right? Yeah.
And he was fed up.
He had to fucking share that position with them, these snakes inside. So right away, of course, they knew who the fuck was, and they knew who the fuck they are and who they're loyal to. So they conspired in what's known as the Night of Long Knives to take him out, to kill him. Because there was no way they were going to fucking turn him.
They could see, yeah, he's obviously genuine in his beliefs and willing to die.
I have 70 things.
He almost overthrew the government, or he attempted to overthrow the government years before.
I have 69 things in common with And it was like, as I was reading and studying, it was like, oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah, me too. Oh, me too. Oh, me too. He was a lance corporal. I'm a lance corporal. He was an infantryman. I'm an infantryman. He was exposed to chemical weapons. I was exposed to chemical weapons. He had an abusive father. I've had an abusive father. He had a loving mother. I have a loving mother. He was a Catholic. I'm a Catholic. He was a vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian. I can go on. He was a great speaker. I'm a fucking great speaker. All of these things I have in common with this man. Only because of my study did I find this shit out. When he inherited this fucked up situation of Weimar Germany, which we have right now in America, the early stages.
Poverty.
Okay, yeah, here's the numbers. We're in Weimar America right now, but we're in the earlier stages. But don't you worry, it's coming. It's coming. Even cutting off your SNAP benefits. We talked a bit about that. Hunger's coming to you. When Adolf took power in 1933, all the gold that Germany had was stolen by the banksters from World War I and the Versailles Treaty, which is the most obscene, disgusting thing that basically enforced a policy which is similar to John Perkins and Confessions of an Economic Hitman, where they loan money to corrupt third world nations for some infrastructure which the government and the nation can never pay back. And then ultimately they enslave the entire nation with a debt that's not payable, all for a fucking dam which all the big multinationals are going to make money from anyway, and you're not going to get any benefit. So this is what Germany was going through. Am I fucking going hard enough on this subject yet? And there were 6 million, 7 million unemployed. There was 2 million homeless. Pedophilia was off the charts. The Frankfurt Institute was doing transgender shit. Well, that got fucking popular, didn't it?
Yep.
We had fucking starvation. Germans were starving. You could buy, the Jews were living large, and in fucking Berlin, it made Thailand and everything available in Thailand look like fucking Puritans or something. Berlin was the moral cesspool capital of the world. You had bestiality, you had transgenderism, you had fucking gay fucking bullshit, fucking lesbians, everything. And you could buy a mother and a daughter for sex. Literally, this was all available. Within 3 years of Hitler coming into power, everybody was employed. No homelessness. Pedophilia was over. The fucking transgender shit, gone. Starvation, gone. Usury, outlawed. Freemasonry, outlawed. Highest standard of living, highest wages, 6 weeks mandatory vacation, paid for with your family, and you could have a home. I didn't bring it out, but here it is right here. Yeah, my fucking mother's cross right here. Oh, but you can't show that swastika, which is beautiful. Fucking beautiful that thing is. And ultimately, by the way, your fucking 666 fucking Synagogue of Satan, Star of David, which is really the Star of Remphan satanic shit, fuck off to that one. The swastika is great. Make it great again. Took Germany out of destitution, starvation, unemployment, and fucking nothingness to a powerhouse, and liberated his people and brought pride back to Germany, Christian Germany. But then all of Judea got their way with America and fucking England, supposedly Christian nations, joining up with the Soviet fucking Union, which, by the way, would fucking kill you if you fucking even said anything about Jesus. Mm-hmm. This is the truth.
Yeah, they burned all the churches. They killed millions of Christians before, which was why fucking Hitler didn't want them there. No, everything you're saying, it was the world's fastest recovery. In all of world history, it was the fastest recovery ever. The fastest recovery ever in world history.
Literally.
Like, it's literally. Just, you know what he did? He arrested,
you too.
He arrested the fucking bankers, including a Rothschild.
He arrested 6 Rothschilds. Yeah. He even had one like
him.
Mopping floors and shit. He literally
made that motherfucker mop the floors. And what did it do for his economy? It fucking boomed.
Literally.
And that's why England declared war on him. He didn't declare war. Russia also invaded Poland, but instead of declaring war on Russia, we sided with Russia. So he was fighting America, France, England, and almost won too.
Literally. You know how fucking crazy different this world would be if Judea hadn't won that war? Oh my God. And what happened when us good guys won? The Soviet Union and communism came all the way in up to East Germany.
Yeah. And we just sat back and let that happen.
That's victory, is it?
George Patton said
we fought
the wrong side. And then he got, 25 miles an hour, a small car crash in the hospital. I think he got poisoned and killed.
Yeah.
Because he was so popular, they were like freaking out with George Patton.
And that doesn't even get into the mass rape and starvation of Germans in the occupation.
They said raped every woman between 8 and 80. They came through, raped them. They put them in concentration camps. They abused them. They don't teach us this in history.
It's like, really, if people will cry and they will feel shame if they ever have the courage to actually seek the truth and understand what really happened there. Really, like, you'll cry, man. You have to be. Can you imagine, dude, if that was your daughter, your fucking wife, your mother?
If anyone tried resisting, they would shoot them. So if like the son run tried to stop, they'd shoot them.
Literally.
And like what we did to Dresden, like almost all the men were military fighting, and they went and bombed and firebombed the entire city of Dresden, killing.
You've seen that classic image of that, beautiful German lady, and she's got like a bruised eye, and she's like walking in the street. You've seen it. I guarantee you've seen it. But like that beautiful German woman, like we just don't know exactly what happened to her, but we know based on
probably beaten and raped.
She had been beaten and raped, and she lost everything. Ursula Haverbeck, she's passed on. Ursula Haverbeck,
bless her. She lived through that time period, and they kept putting her in fucking prison. People that weren't born yet putting her in prison for saying no. Like, she lived through it, and you have people that didn't live through it putting her in prison. How insane is that? I just interviewed fucking Germer Rudolph. Haven't dropped it yet. He did 4.5 years in prison because he's a chemist, and he did some studying on it and said, hey, this isn't possible to have gassed people this way. Boom, prison. And he's not allowed to have a defense. It's the only history you'll go thrown in jail for questioning.
Ernst Sundal, God bless him. David Irving, who did. I don't
amazing.
agree with a lot of what David Irving's conclusions were, but
I
God
just saw
bless
little
him.
pieces of him, honestly, so I don't know his whole thing. But the pieces I saw, he did a great job of explaining it.
Yeah, Henry Ford, the international.
Ford. Oh, gee.
I mean,
that's a good book to read.
Charles Lindbergh.
Henry Ford, real quick, I say he doubled the wages in America.
Yeah.
He started paying so much better, so all the other countries had to match. He cut the work week down to 40 hours. He started the assembly line. He made cars affordable. This guy probably did more for Americans than anyone. And who did you see the problem was? He was going to actually give profits to his workers, and he got sued by the Dodge brothers. Their logos and star.
And
book.
Had a deep admiration for Henry Ford, and he took the model that Henry Ford had presented, and he took it to the next level with Dr. Porsche, because the Volkswagen is the greatest car ever made.
Great car.
That car was genuinely affordable to every working, and everybody was working. Yeah. That is the first car. Never mind that, the Autobahn, which is one of the, I've driven on the Autobahn.
Where you go, no speed limit, right?
Literally, I've driven on it. It's a magnificent road. It's even made his love for nature too. Like, we didn't even mention that. Adolf's love for nature was absolute and undeniable.
Nature, animals.
So we didn't build they didn't build freeways. It just kind of bulldozed through. He cooperated with the contours of the land. He preserved the rivers. He preserved the prairies. He preserved the wildlife. So this is what, literally, the Autobahn, and it's still there. And many homes that were built, he built, what is it, 6 million homes? 6 million. He built millions of homes to German standards that make these embarrassment of home things that we make out here.
Well, you're the one that first told me that he would give no usury, and if you had a child, you get 25% off. If you had 4 children, home totally free.
That's what the Mother's Cross is, which I can't show.
Yeah, you're the one that first shared that.
Literally, the Mother's Cross.
Such a proud.
And our birth rates are going down. Totally, white people are being genocided right now. We're dying out, and the birth rates are going down for everybody. The birth rates in Germany were going up.
So we gave them free fucking homes.
Yep.
It's hard to have kids when both parents have to work, but times are so tough. It's hard to have children without both parents working.
I love him. I adore him. He's like the father I never had. Really, I adore him, and I don't give a fuck. People can believe whatever the fuck they want. I don't give a shit. I'm dying on this hill. I'm never going to turn my back. And bearing false witness is a crime. If you believe in God, I'm telling you right now, even if the whole fucking world believes bullshit, if you bear false witness, especially against somebody who's a real servant of God, that's a fucking problem, mate. You're going to meet your maker. You're going to find out that all that popularity shit that everybody else, that willful ignorance crap, that ain't going to fucking buy you no love. You're not necessarily getting into the kingdom of heaven if you're going to do that kind of shit. Why don't you just say, fuck, I hate Jesus too while you're at it? No, because they do.
Yeah, they do. Exactly, they do. We were taught to hate him so bad. From a kid, I never understood it. I never felt the hatred towards him. I didn't understand why I was supposed to feel hatred towards this guy. I would see him and I'd just be fascinated.
Yeah.
I knew something was drawn to him, but I felt guilty about it. I'm not supposed to feel this.
I had a swastika flag when I was young, when I was a teenager.
My instincts are good, though. My instincts just felt something.
I didn't know anything.
Yeah, I just felt fascinated by this guy that I'm not supposed to, but then I would be ashamed of it, why am I so fascinated with this guy?
Yeah.
Then you get older, then it makes sense that you were told you have to hate this guy. Now they're putting his speeches to English, and you're hearing wow. And no one's perfect. I'm not going to sit there and say he was perfect, but you realize, wow, it's not the story we were told. You ever seen the documentary "The Greatest Story Never Told"?
I was used to promote
And you're
that
in
film,
Europa, of course.
and that film, I cannot recommend that.
I love
Why
it.
is The Greatest Story Never
love it.
Told in Europa so hard to find?
They're so banned. I'm not gonna say names, but that the student of mine introduced you to. That's what I had to watch. Though I had to watch "The Greatest Story Never Told" first. It's just like once you wake up, you don't unsee it.
No.
And he even said, he's like, I've heard people say things like that before without they're crazy, but I have respect for you. When you started saying these things, I'm like, I should go watch. So, well, shit, man, I think we fucking killed it. Anything else we need to wrap with? I think we fucking nailed it.
I tell you what, man, it's an absolute honor. It's a blessing. It's a joy for me. And it's why, I have a couple beers,
I've had a stressful week, so I'm like, I don't know, a fucking couple of drinks.
Yeah. This is
good stressful, but like
this is food for the soul, just being able to bare your soul and say what needs to be said. And, if you happen to be somebody who has the courage to say what's right and have taken the time to understand it, it's a real blessing. So, for me, having a beer or two, it's cathartic, and to have your company too, man. I mean, it's a real blessing, and I pray that you make it out to Malaysia someday, and I can show you some stuff.
You're such a legend, brother. So thank you so much, and we'll, you'll be a guest that I'll have on hopefully like a couple times a year. So I would love to.
I'd like to make that.
Yeah, I would love you to be regular. Worst case, we could always do one remote if you're in Malaysia or something.
You know what? We'll do our best regardless. But yeah, we've made a connection. It's real. It's genuine. And that word we talked about, friend, you're a real friend, brother. I appreciate that.
Oh, and thank you so much for fighting this fight for 30-something years. Like how ostracized and stuff you were. Like I came in at the right time. I suffered a little bit, but I came in like when other people started waking up. So I was very fortunate
You were
to be
really
the first, at least yet, to be the first person not to have suffered super bad speaking up. So hopefully that lasts, because these people want me dead, and they're never going to forget it. They want me dead or in prison, and they're never going to forgive us.
Yeah.
So we need to win this battle.
Yeah, and literally, brother, while you're giving me all that credit and stuff, I'm serious. Like I was looking, from my perspective, and I remember seeing you, and I really felt a genuine joy. Like, oh, that's fucking awesome, man, that Jake is doing that. And it's just like
and stuff. So when you see someone that
yeah.
No, because you get it. People call me a grifter and shit. You know how much I fucking sacrifice. There's nothing to fucking gain from this.
Yeah. No.
You think I woke up and be like, oh, I'm going to declare war on Israel and the most powerful fucking people on the planet? No.
No.
But it was God's duty to God.
It is, in terms of the way we measure the physical and the material of this very unjust, collectively insane world, there is no benefit to it, but that's not actually correct. The real benefit is the spiritual capital that you build and the integrity, being on the right side of history and everything. If there is a judgment, surely that's worth a lot. So, while people may mistake the obvious consequences of speaking this way and be fearful of that, I would encourage them to overcome their fear, do the right thing, because in the end, it's actually the best investment in yourself you could make.
Couldn't agree more. So once again, thank you so much.
Thank you,
and we'll be talking soon. As many of you know, I have many controversial guests, so that comes at a cost of being demonetized everywhere. So if you want to support the program, go to fightbackpodcast.com, and I have all kinds of merch on there, whether it's jiu-jitsu, fighting, political, and other accessories. And thanks for the support.